Welcome back everybody to Shenington and our second stream this afternoon here on Alpha Live. We're getting ready for the finals for the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix. My name is Andrew Mather from Double Dash Motorsport Media. Great to have you with us here this afternoon on the Alpha Live stream. So we've had our historics go out there and do their demo runs. Absolutely fantastic to see them out on circuit. And now we turn to the attentions of the modern karts here today. A huge array of classes that you can enjoy here on the stream. We'll be kicking off with the KZB final and then moving through our cadets, juniors and seniors across the course of the day. And don't forget to say with our KZs and 210 nationals, great to have them here as well. For now though, let's head to one of our interviews from yesterday with the man who organised all of this here at the Shenington SuperPrix. DJ spoke to Graham from the club early yesterday.
I'm here with Graham Smith, the club secretary here at Shenington Raceway. And, well, Graham, how did all this that we're looking at here, how did this all start?
Well, 1960, a local man bought a fleet of 12 karts, and it was a massive thing then in the 50s and 60s. I mean, there was thousands of companies making karts, and it just grew from there. And then eventually the club was formed. We started running international meetings. It was part of the World Championships with Stirling Moss, had competed in one of the rounds, not here though. And it just built up from there. We had long, like 6-hour races, 12-hour races, all sorts of stuff. And the SuperPrix started in 2000 when the historic kart movement was just starting. I think we skipped 2001, and then it came back in 2002, and the British Historic Kart Club was formed, and the SuperPrix all built up from there. Now we've got the E plates for the Motorsport UK E Plates this weekend. So the winner of most of the classes wins the E plate, which is the English Championship, opposed to the O plate, which is the Open Championship. So most classes are competing for the E plates this weekend, and that's quite a prestigious thing that they can use all over the UK.
Yeah, it's absolutely fabulous, and we've got beautiful weather this weekend, and the SuperPrix has never looked so busy. We've got hundreds of drivers here. You've got historic karts, like you were just saying, and of course all the modern karts from this area fighting for that illustrious E-plate. But I mean, what a fabulous event to be a part of.
Yes, I think we've got over 270 entries for the racing this weekend, and 80 historic entries for the demonstrations that goes on at lunchtime and after the racing's finished. So yeah, fantastic weather, very lucky. We've put on lots of activities for the kids. We've got fun fairs, we've got music and bar and pig roast tonight for the adults and that. So everybody should be having a really great time, because it's as much a social event as it is a racing event.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, are we going to see you in the fun fair later, or are we going to see you in the bar later?
I'll probably be at the bar later, for sure, yes.
Definitely so. Well, again, absolutely fabulous circuit. Like I say, sun is shining on us, but it couldn't be a better weekend for it. And a huge thank you to yourself for organising such an illustrious event as well.
Thank you, thank you.
Welcome back everybody to Shenington and live commentary from DDMM here for the finals afternoon for the Shenington SuperPrix 2022. The running order will go through in a moment for the action that we've got here today. Beautiful conditions here on the 17th of July 2022. Very glad to have you with us here on your Alpha Live stream. And we're just up the road from DDMM HQ near Banbury. Personally, one of my favourite circuits. 2 lengths of circuit that we'll be running here today: the 10-18 metre non-gearbox and the 12-11 gearbox. 7 turns on either configuration. Racing started here in the early 1960s on this site that used to be an RAF field during the Second World War. There's been a lot of talk about weather conditions here today. It is warm, very, very warm. In the shade, 27 degrees, 28 degrees. But it's quite open here at Shenington, so it probably feels more like mid-30s. No rain forecast, little bit of breeze across the circuit. It's actually died away, I think, a little bit from this morning when it was a little bit breezier. Let's go through our order events. Actually, no, let's go for our sponsors and who we've got here supporting the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix.
Shenington Kart Racing Club would like to thank the following for their support of the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix: Stu Stretton Photography, Spell Fame Karting, Rotax Jag Engineering, Dunlop, Birrell Art, Jack Dex Racing, LeConte Racing Tyres, Jade Racing Team, TCR UK, IAME The Heart of Kart, Formula TKM and Zip Kart. Thank you for watching live coverage of the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix here on Alpha Live.
Big thanks to all of those sponsors. So our running order, just to quickly run through it before we check out one of our interviews from yesterday. KZ B Final will be first, and then all of these are A Finals going forward. Honda Cadet, followed by IAME Cadet, Junior TKM, Minimax and Junior Max out at the same time. IAME Waterswift will be next. TKM Clubman and Rotax Libre will be out together as race 32. X30 Junior, KZ, 210 National, TKM Extreme and X30 Senior. That will be your running order for this afternoon. Great to have so many drivers of different ages here today across those classes. And yesterday, DJ caught up with one of them.
I'm here with Ella Stevens for the Jade Racing team, number 82 in Junior X30. Ella, how is this weekend going for you so far?
Yeah, so far it's been going quite well. In qualifying, I qualified P2, and then we just had our first heat, and I got second.
Ah, nice. So, Shenington, it's a fun circuit for you then?
Yeah, I do really like this track. I've been coming here since I was like 7 years old, so I'm quite confident around here.
Confidence is key around a kart circuit, isn't it? If you know it well, you know all the secrets of a circuit, it can help out massively. And with your racing, so far this year, it's been going okay, hasn't it?
Yeah, this year I haven't really doing much karting in the UK, but I've definitely been going forward with it as well.
Yeah.
But it feels great to be back in the UK doing some racing.
You've had a bit of backing and support from Alice Powell as well, so, you know, that's quite a nice thing as well.
Yeah, it's great having Alice Powell always behind me.
Yeah. When you're going to karting, and it's a tough sport at such a young age, but it's a great doorway open to future racing. Where do you see yourself in future motorsport?
Hopefully soon I can make myself into cars, and I'm looking into W Series when I'm a bit older, which would be good to help myself get out there in the cars, especially with other females.
Yeah, definitely so. When racing, car racing, there's lots to choose from in car racing. What are we thinking? Are we thinking club level? Are we thinking you want to go into lower formula divisions as well?
I'm just going to think about gradually making my way up the scale. So.
Yeah. It's a long old ladder, isn't it? There's plenty to do, but you've got a great team here backing you this weekend. How is it with the Jade team?
Yeah, I've been with Jade for just over a year now, and it's been very well. Every weekend I've been with them, I've been having great results since before, so it's always been good.
And like you say, it's showing this weekend as well, P2 in your first heat out there, and more heats coming up tomorrow as well. Are you looking forward to them?
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent stuff. What's the plan for the final? Prediction for the final? Go for it.
P1.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Ella. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Great chat there with Ella Stevens. We'll be seeing her race later on today. I mentioned W Series as well. I've seen Alice Powell and Abby Pullinger here today. Ali's your grid for the KZ B Final coming up shortly. Quick shout out to some of our sponsors as well for the trophies here today. So Brian Rimmen, who's giving trophies to all of the fastest lap winners in the final class races. The Rixon family for giving the Gil Rixon Trophy Junior of the Day. And Shenington Kart Racing Club for Senior Driver of the Day. Before we get on to this B final, let's have another bit of an interview out there as DJ caught up with Jack Dex yesterday down at the JDR tent.
I'm here with Jack Dex, team boss and driver this weekend for the Jack Dex Racing team. Jack, firstly, how are we this weekend?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Having a go myself this weekend, which is a lot of fun in the KZ2. And then got my usual drivers here having a go as well.
Yeah, excellent stuff. So the fact that you're driving as well, you've got to deal with all the bad things that you've got to deal with yourself, and you've also got to deal with them as well. That's probably not a nice feeling, is it?
Yeah, trying to not take it too seriously so I can still concentrate on the others, but when the helmet's on, it's obviously not always like that. But no, so far so good. They're all doing well, so sun's out, so can't be bad.
Sun's out, guns out, kart's out as well. Beautiful, like you say, that we've got here today, and you're racing, you're having a good weekend. But let's talk about the SuperPrix itself, because you love karting, you've done karting for many, many years now, and Shenington is the one place that you love to bring it out.
Yeah, we supported the club ever since we've been doing the team, and yeah, SuperPrix. Back when I was younger, I did it myself, and then we started doing the team. It's just a good, fun weekend. A little bit, you know, they do a good effort with the marquee and the pig roast and everything else. It's just something about it. It's a little bit more enjoyable. Everyone seems a bit happier around the paddock, and the racing's normally really good. Attracts a few more people. So yeah, great event.
You've got the historics here as well, so you can go and gorp at all the classics and all the old chassis out there as well. I've had a look myself, and I've got to say, I'm fascinated by it all.
Yeah, unfortunately I'm old enough now to remember racing them in era, but no, yeah, fascinating, and they're still just as quick as the modern stuff, so yeah, very impressive.
Do you look at them and think, oh, I want to give one of those a drive?
Oh, for sure. One of them old karts is probably more fun than the modern stuff, actually, with it being so light and nimble, but yeah, very cool.
Yeah, well, I'll go around there, have a quick chat with one of them and just say, hey, you know, Dexy, we'll get him in one of these, get him out there for one of the demo laps. Would you like that?
Yeah, see what you can do.
I'll see what I can organise. But yeah, this weekend you got your kart here, the 99 racing in KZ. You know, how's it been? I mean, KZ, a fierce class to race in.
Very fun, very difficult physically. Obviously, I don't kart that much anymore, but yeah, doing.
KZB final time then. Here is your grid of 6 scheduled runners. Adam Holt on pole position in the 12, the 27 of Peter Clive's second. Luke Dawson and Sam Nichols on row 2. Richard Renshaw Panting and Craig Mays, who I don't think actually starts this race. Away we go then for the B final in KZ2. And a good start straight away from the numbers 27 of Peter Clive's. Top 4 go through from this final is the information that we've had in the boxes. Look at the speed as they go down the far end on the gearbox layout here at Shenington, down to Stratford Corner, sweeping back up towards the Bruno chicane now. It looks like Richard Renshaw Panting's had a good start, and the number 14 already up to second place. Sam Nichols there in the 43 is up to 4th. It's Luke Dawson, I think, who's not had such a good start. Started this race in 3rd. There's work to do here to pull himself back in side by side there between the 27 and the 14, Clives and Renshaw Panting. Clives having none of it there as they came onto the Park Straight. On to lap number 2 then. Richard Renshaw Panting really wants to get on with this. Down to the far end through the Stratford Corner. Looks like a simple hairpin, but is anything but. You can get your braking wrong very easily indeed. Just a little bit concerned. Is there a radiator pipe dangling loose on the number 14? Yes, I think there is. Let's keep an eye on that, because that could be a problem, possibly. 6.5 minutes of this race to go. Just the one lap, so it's Renshaw Panting leading from Sam Nichols now up to second place. Peter Clives slots down into 3rd place. Adam Holt 4th. Luke Dawson, as we say, with work to do in 5th. He's KZ's part of the Super 4 KZ UK series. Probably the quickest karts that we'll see out here today. Their A final will be later on in the afternoon, of course. Keep your comments coming in. Hello to Stratos, watching from Costa Rica. And Baron Smith as well, cheering Lewis Islin on. Good battle going on here for 3rd place. Adam Holt in the number 12, trying to find a way past Peter Clives there, the number 27. On the half minutes of this race to go. Pace for Richard Renshaw Panting at the moment, very strong indeed. 46.71. Down the long course they go. Clive's just sticking to the inside there. This is bringing Luke Dawson back into play. Number 85 there. Yellow details on his kart. Just coming to the rear of the number 12 Adam Holt. If you're Adam Holt, just got to make sure that you don't get too frustrated at this situation. There will be opportunities to get through in the remaining time on the clock, but Dawson is right there now to make a bit of a surprise run. Maybe is up the inside now is Adam Holt, but can't get it done there into Park Bend through Cafe Corner now. crucial bit of the circuit through Park, Cafe and Pitts Bend. You can try different lines through there, but the key bit is making sure that you get the good exit down the Stratford straight, especially when you're one of these gearbox karts and you've got the big long run down towards the hairpin. Clive's doing a good job here just to hold on to third place. Holtz has backed away a bit from, at least in comparison to the previous lap. There is Luke Dawson still there in 5th place. Having a look up the inside, there was a gap there and contact between the 12 and the 85. Adam Holt on the grass there, very dry out there today. Well, Dawson will argue that there was a gap there. He was in control of his kart and went for it. Three and a half minutes, or just over that on time to go. Richard Renshaw panting, looking serene at the moment. Last lap was a 46.4, fastest lap of the B final so far. Bit of breathing space now for Peter Clives there in 3rd place. After that contretemps between Luke Dawson and Adam Holt. Adam Holt started to get back on top of things here though. Personal bests in sectors 1 and 2, and in fact a personal best lap overall, 47.04. So he's in clean air at least 6/10 quicker than both Clives and Dawson ahead, but he's got to find a way by. Sam Nichols still doing quite nicely as well in 2nd place. Holt has caught up to Dawson down the inside, but has got too deep into the Stratford corner, outbrakes himself and isn't able to complete the overtaking manoeuvre there on Luke Dawson. You can see how big the gaps appear in these KZ races when you make a mistake like that. Precision machines, the way they pick off the corner in particular is very, very impressive. Oh, is there a problem there for Dawson? Was there a gear shift problem there for Dawson? It looked like he was fighting for another gear. He's lost a big amount of time to Adam Holt there. He's got it back together. That was a heart-in-the-mouth moment for Luke Dawson there. Needs to finish here in 4th place. You see the shifter there on the driver's right-hand side. 2 minutes on the clock to go. And you're panting. Well, we worried earlier about his, I think there is a problem here for Luke Dawson. Doesn't seem to have the pace down the straights. Adam Holt not able to make a move through the Bruno chicane work. Renshaw panting does another. It just gets quicker and quicker every lap. 46.04 that time around. Sam Nichols improves to a 46.88. He's comfortable there in 2nd place. And it's fair to say that Peter Clives is also comfortable in 3rd. Not long in this B final to go then for Super 4 KZ. Adam Holt's going to have another look down the inside. Can he get the braking right this time? He's got to pick up the speed off the corner. That is a lot better. Good move from Adam Holt. Gets by, back into 4th place. Can he hold on to it though? Is a circuit where getting a slipstream is possible due to the high speed, the long straights here at Shenington, particularly on the gearbox layout. We saw Luke Dawson make a move through this corner before, not that time. Different line from Adam Holt, tighter on the late apex that you run there through Wilkins. 40 seconds on the clock. Down the straight they go, down Stratford Straight into the hairpin. Neat and tidy there. Adam Holt ahead of Luke Dawson. Another personal best from Sam Nichols last time around in 2nd place, 46.61. Has got a gap of 6 seconds to Peter Clives. He's 5 seconds away from Renshaw panting. His pace has slowed a little bit, but it's still pretty good as Dawson gets caught out there by the line of Adam Holt. Has actually lost time as they go through Wilkins and onto the Park Straight. Time has expired. The leader of the race coming into the Bruno chicane now. I'll just be able to see Richard Renshaw panting's head bobbing through. Well, there he is. You don't need to see his head bobbing through the Bruno chicane because our cameras have picked him up. At the moment, no problems for the number 14. He did wonder about that pipe being loose early on, but seems to be a-okay for the number 14 at the moment. Last lap board is out. Richard Renshaw-Panting can just cruise this one home now. 6.2 seconds in the lead ahead of the number 43 of Sam Nichols, who also has backed the pace off here. Understandable in these conditions. A lot of talk about tyres and how much tyre you've got left come the final. So conserving the karts through to the big race of the day. Very much a priority for all of these drivers in a position of going through to that A final. But Richard Renshaw-Panting didn't have a good time in the heats. Had to start from 5th place in this B final, but has stormed to victory in the B final here and will win by some 6 to 7 seconds ahead of Sam Nichols. There is Sam Nichols in 2nd place. Peter Clives had to fight in the early stage of the race but stayed calm and will take 3rd place in the number 27. Adam Holt fights back to 4th place. 5th place for Luke Dawson. Very well done to all of those drivers. And into the pit lane they will come. And we'll get ready for our next race, then our first A final of the day. It is race 27 in your race programmes for Honda Cadet. So your Honda Cadet final, sponsored by Anderson CSK and Dunlop. The winner receives the E Plate as English champion. Top 3 get a set of Dunlop tyres. Here is your grid. Charles Kitely has pole position, Logan McAllister alongside on the front row, Jensen Hookey and Max Fallon on row 2, Oliver Meek and Cian Bernard on row number 3, Riley Thatcher and Sebastian Guy on row 4, Lorenzo Martin and Sebastian Clark on row 5, Luke Broadbent and Samir Paul form up row number 6. Archie Lee Bullock and Finley Hans are there on row 7, and then Riley Morgan is there on row number 8. I do actually think we've got some drivers missing from that. Yes, we have. So actually, I'm just unofficially going to read that one out. Rocco Shenton on pole position, Cian Bernard row 2nd place, Jack Price and Sebastiano Tuzio on row 2, Riley Thatcher and Max Fallon row 3, Samir Paul and Oliver Meek row 4, Lorenzo Martin and Sebastian Clark on row 10, Ashley Haas and Charles Kitely on row 6, Sam Green Gomez and Sergio Verts on row 7, Luca Tuzio and Austin Stiley on row 8. I think we're about ready to go then for the final here in Honda Cadet, and away we go. Can Rocco Shenton get the best of starts? He's moved across and defended first position there as they go into Park Bend for the first time. 10 minutes on the clock plus 1 lap. What should be an absolutely fantastic Honda Cadet final, sponsored by Dunlop. Good start then for Shenton. Bernard there in the number 28, down into 2nd place. Oh, big move down the inside. I think that was Sebastian Tuzio going for a position there. All of them spreading out as they come out of the Stratford corner on the short circuit now. There's the number 8, 13 of Samir Paul defending into the Bruno chicane. We have seen heats so far in this category where drivers have been able to break away in groups of 3, groups of 4. Keeping yourself in the mix is going to be important across the course of the next 10 minutes. Rocco Leon Shenton has taken both of those heat wins so far this weekend. So it's Shenton from Bernard, Tuzio, Fallon, Price, Meek, Paul, Kitely, Thatcher and Clark. That is your top 10 at the moment. Very up and down weekend so far for Charles Kitely. Down the inside there goes the number 71 of Jack Price. Had pole position in the timed qualifying yesterday, but a problem in one of Charles's heats meant he's had to start this final from lower down the grid than he would have wanted. All calm at the moment in this Honda Cadet final. Shenton still leading, and a group of 5 starting to pull off the front of the order. There's number 52 of Riley Morgan. In a battle with the 99 of Austin Stiley. Actually, Austin's transponder is not working at the moment, so let's just bear that in mind. So end of lap 2 then. Shenton, Bernard, Tuzio, Jack Price confirmed up to 4th place, and he's having a look now for 3rd. Going down the inside, good move there from Jack Price. Did that a lap ago, is gaining confidence. There's a 3 wide situation off of the Stratford corner a little bit further back. As, off there! Number 18 is involved, of Finley Hans, the 17 as well of Ashley Haas. Both drivers okay, which is the most important news. Yellow flags out to cover that down at the Bruno chicane, as it's all getting very squabbly here. And Price is being forced out there onto the grass and may lose a lot of positions here. This is what happens in Honda Cadet racing when you lose that momentum. He's going to be swarmed around by the likes of Max Fallon, Charles Kitely in there as well. But still Rocco Shenton now half a second clear at the front of the field. Group behind have got to get themselves organised to make sure that Shenton can't break away. It will be a hard job for Rocco Shenton to do just that. So Sebastiano Tuzio there in 2nd place now. Kart number 24. 28 of Cian Bernard in 3rd. Max Fallon 4th. Jack Price still in there in the 71 in 5th. But I'd keep your eyes on the number 64 of Charles Kitely, coming through very nicely. Up the inside now for 2nd place. Bernard goes through. Price goes through. It's going to be the number 64 of Kitely, as mentioned, on the inside. And just like that, poor Sebastiano Tuzio has lost 3 positions in the space of about 1.5 quarters. Move from Sam Green Gomez on that last lap, has got past Sebastian Clark for 9th place. Jensen Walker as well has got past Sebastian Dew for 18th place. And once again, Jack Price he does like the move down there into Stratford corner. Now, did Jack Price get the run off the corner to take that position? Can't quite tell from that angle. 6 minutes on the clock, 4 of them already gone. Just having a look there at Marcus Emmanuel, trying to find a way past Sebastian Guy. Price was able to make the move. Now, can Jack Price and Cian Bernard now work together? Close in the gap to Rocco Shenton. 51.7 last time around for Shenton, 51.45 for Jack Price, and 51.61 for Bernard. So even though there was a little bit of overtaking on that last lap, that would indicate that Shenton has still got work to do to control this race and win this race. Remember, this acts as the English Championship. The winner of this race will be able to use the E Plate in all Motorsport UK sanctioned events around the country. Halfway through the race on time. More moves to let you know about. Sebastian Clark has got back past us. All down the inside there goes Bernard, looking for 2nd place on Price. Price holds him off very nicely indeed. Charles Kitely coming into it though, the number 64. Going through Cafe Corner again then. Shenton is very nicely controlling this at the moment, not getting too ragged, not over defending. Still a long way in this race to go, but it is coming back to the likes of Price and Kitely now. Others trying to get themselves organised here. Now the race is on. Bernard down the inside takes 2nd place. Won't be cause for too much panic for Jack Price. Seen that Jack Price has been able to pull this gap out. Great work as well by the 2nd group of 4, led by Max Fallon. Oh dear, as off the road is, I think that was the number 59 of Luca Tuzio, and it might have been Austin Siley as well. But that 2nd group with Fallon, Sebastiano Tuzio, Oliver Meek and Riley Thatcher, they've all come into this now. There's a move going on just behind. It's Tuzio trying to get down the inside of Fallon. Can Rocco Shenton hold this one out? He's taken both heat wins so far this weekend. Plenty of experience at this level now in Honda Cadet. Has raced the Hondas for a couple of years now. And look how tight it is down into Wilkins. As off the track there goes Kitely. Kitely forced out wide through on the exit of Wilkins. Not too happy about it. Needs to keep calm. There's still enough time in this race to race through from that position. Just got to get his head down, get back on this train, because it will start to break up. Oh dear, and out there is the number 57 of Sergio Wirtz. I think that is a contact with Sebastian Clark. Wide goes Bernard into the Stratford corner. As, well, two carts that were locked together back up and running now, Wirtz and Clark. 2.5 minutes to go on the clock. Still Rocco Shenton leading this one. The number 71 of Jack Price in there in second place. If you're new to Honda Cadet racing, believe it or not, it hasn't got going yet. They will just, almost like a cycling pursuit race, just try and feel each other out at the moment for where the pace is, and then really go for it in the last couple of laps. And there's still a bit of time off that at the moment. Price moves just to the event. Oh, it's round there goes the number 24. That's Sebastiano Tuzio. Well, that is a real shame for Seb. He's going to be out of this race in terms of contention for the win. Was up there in 4th place. He's understandably not too pleased about that. Feels he was encouraged into that one. Charles Cartley has got back past Riley Thatcher for 7th place. That'll be 6th place now with the demise of Tuzio. Just under 1.5 minutes to go then. So by my reckoning, 3 more laps then. And still Rocco Shenton leads this one. Group of 3 is formed out front. Now, if they can work together for this lap and maybe the next lap after it, you would think they would have the 1, 2, 3 sewn up. Oliver Meek and Charles Kitely behind have got to keep working together to close in the gap. Keane Bernard wants to try and find a way through, wants to sit in 2nd place in this train. Shenton just continuing to drive so well in this race, as Rocco has done throughout the weekend so far. He's led this one from pole position. See Jack Price trying to find a way through there. Penultimate lap of the race will start in now. There it is. So across the line still with 25 seconds on the clock. Bernard down the inside of Price as they go through Park Bend. And this is good news for Rocco Shenton because it's breaking away now at the front of the field. Here comes Oliver Meek in the orange helmet, cart number 11. Trying to go around the outside there, trying to take 3rd place. Brilliant race this to kick off the main finals for the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix. It's not done yet. They've got themselves reorganised. They're pushing back towards Rocco Shenton. You can see Kean Bernard. He is very keen to get through and into 2nd place. Jack Price does not want to let him do that. He's found a way underneath. And that could be trouble for Jack Price because here comes Oliver Meek down the inside. Takes 3rd place. Charles Kitely still in there as well. He's going to try and go around the outside as they come onto the park straight. Last lap board is out then. Can Rocco Shenton keep it cool here in the hot conditions at Shenington in the Honda Cadet Final? Got a gap of about half a second. Doesn't want to drive too defensively, particularly down here into the Stratford hairpin. He's got to keep doing what he's been doing the whole race. Oliver Meek has driven brilliantly in this final. Has got himself right in the mix here for 3rd place. And that 2nd group, they're letting Rocco Shenton gallop away here. It's going to take a mammoth effort from these 4 to stop him winning this race, and I think they are just fighting over 2nd spot now. But here comes Rocco Shenton. What a weekend for Rocco here in the 86. A lot of pressure this weekend in a single event, but has taken the clean sweep, 2 heats, and becomes the E Plate holder for Honda Cadet in 2022. Wins the Shenington SuperPrix Honda Cadet class by 9/10 of a second ahead of Kean Bernard and Oliver Meek. That's your 1, 2, 3 that take the prizes from our sponsor Dunlop. Very good stuff indeed. Charles Kitely fought back there to 4th place. 5th place for Riley Thatcher, 6th for Max Fallon, 7th Lorenzo Martin. Good race from Sam Green Gomez. Apologies, Jack Price was in there as well. So Jack Price is actually 4th, Kitely 5th, Thatcher 6th, Fallon 7th, Lorenzo Martin 8th. Sam Green Gomez in 9th. Sebastiano Tuzio inside the top 10. Would have hoped for a little bit more, was in the mix there. Great race there from Honda Cadet. Fantastic racing from them as expected. We'll take a short break here in the commentary from Double Dash Motorsport Media. Next up out on circuit, race number 28 here today. It's the IAME Cadet Final. Let's have a look at the grid then for this final in IAME Cadet and their final, this race sponsored by Spellfame Karting and Dunlop. I'm not quite sure. I think the grid graphics had a bit of a wobble there. So the what I have in front of me on the paper copy, Austin Newstead alongside Will Green on the front row of the grid, Sukmani Kira and Harley Musk on row 2, Enzo Butterazzi and Jonty Restrick row 3, Jarlath Sayer and Jensen Ackerman on row 4, Maximilian Abrahart and Aaron Richardson on row 5, Kian Amy and Henry Clark on row 6, Jacob Nairn and Manav Dew on row 7, Alfie Fulton and Otis Cleary row 8. Ethan Lucas completes the 17-car field. So the kart's heading out on their formation lap. And the winner of this race, same as the Honda Cadets, receives the E Plate for 2022. And the top 3 get a free set of Dunlop tyres. Here we go then for the IAME Cadet Final for the Shenington SuperPrix 2022. And away they go off the starting grid. A couple of drivers running wide through Cafe Corner, but keeping it pointing in the right direction and staying within the race. Down towards the Stratford Corner for the first time then. Number 74 of Austin Newstead stepping up to Cadets. As big contact there involving the number 40 of Alfie Fulton. He wasn't the starter of that incident. Didn't quite catch the number of the other kart involved. The number 53 there, the Ethan Lucas, started at the back of the field, trying to make progress through the order. There's the number 44 of Sukmani Kira. Good start for Sukmani there, up to second place. So end of the first lap of this 10-minute plus 1 lap final. It's Newstead from Kira. There's a problem with the number 44's transponder. Then it's Will Green, Harley Musk, Jensen Ackerman, Aaron Richardson, Henry Clark, Kian Amy, Jonty Restrick and Jarlath Sayer. That is your 1 through 10. And going for the lead there is Kira, taking the lead through the Stratford corners. Maybe seen some of the moves in or aware from the Honda Cadets earlier. You can make an overtake down there into the Stratford corner, but it's all about your exit off of Pitts Bend. That's what sets it up. But an early lead here for Sukmani Kira. Here down the inside though comes Harley Musk. Good progress on this lap from Harley Musk. There's a contact warning for Jarlath Sayer in the number 49. So end of lap number 2 then. It's Musk from Newstead. Newstead back up to second place. Very tight bunch of karts in the early stages of this race. Kira has been shuffled down a number of spots. Will Green is in there. Towards the Bruno chicane once more then. Looking good at the moment is this quartet at the front of the order. And number 12 of Jensen Ackerman has had a good start. It's kept the number 12 out of trouble so far. Into Wilkins Corner, 7.5 minutes to go. Good move there by Sukmani Kira, back down the inside of Aaron Richardson. That is the fight over 5th place at the moment. Number 82 of Henry Clark is also in there. So pace at the moment, 50.22 for both of the 2 karts at the front of this order, Musk and Newstead. And the support coming in for our race leader. A little bit of a look there by the number 16 of Aaron Richardson, trying to find a way past Sugmani Kira there in the number 44. Moves to tell you about Charles Sayer has got past Kian Amy on that last lap for 9th place. Enzo Butterazzi as well has got past Jacob Nairn for 12th. It's our single novice in this race, which is Marnav Dew. Six minutes and 45 seconds. Oh, bit of a mistake there. Is that Richardson off? I think it is. And hasn't come back onto circuit and has stopped. Aaron Richardson is out of the race. Was running well up in 6th place. Like a bit of a strange one, to be honest. Almost like he briefly ran into the back of Sukmani Kira. That's a significant piece of contact. And then the kart just stops. It's down the inside there. Jonty Restrick in the number 67. Nice move there from Jonty. Already, even at this cadet level, so much experience for all of these drivers. Very competitive category at the moment is IAME Cadet. Here are your leaders, though. 21 of Harley Musk at the front. The number 74 of Austin Newstead for Oliver Rowland Motorsport there in 2nd place. And Jensen Ackerman, the number 12, in 3rd. Will Green racing for his dad's team, Jamie Green Racing. Just a little bit distant at the moment in 4th place. Oh, big off. That is a big off. That's at Hanger Corner. Both drivers okay. But the tyres quite different in their arrangements to what they're normally looking like. As the number 49 there of Jarlath Sayer down the inside. I think it's Henry Clark and Jonty Restrick who were off there at the Hanger Straight. They were in the same part of the order one lap ago and have tumbled down the order. Yellow flags are out. The important news is that both drivers are okay. But that won't have been a small off there at Hanger Corner. We did have an incident in one of the classes early where 2 karts got themselves locked together and just exited to drivers left. And lost steering control in what is one of the fastest parts of the circuits as you run from the Bruno chicane and through that corner. Second half of the race has begun then. Still Musk controlling it ahead of Newstead and Ackerman. Here is the group from 6th place down, headed up by Jarlath Sayer at the moment. They're trying to close in on Sugmani Kira there in the number 44. Kira currently in 5th place. 3 retirements so far from this race. Henry Clark, Jonty Restrick and Aaron Richardson. Top 3 still working together very nicely indeed here. They know that if they just keep doing this, they can have those top 3 positions to themselves, fight out for who takes the E Plate later on in this race, because there's still quite a way to go. 4 minutes on the clock. Will Green trying all he can at the moment to close the gap, but at the moment it's a difficult position if you're in the scenario that Will Green's in. You've got no help from behind. You've got that gap up ahead, and all you can see, no matter how well you drive, is that gap getting bigger and bigger and bigger. 50.2s for all of these top 3. Bump drafting helping them along. Will Green not slow with a 50.97 on his own, but that's the thing, he's losing 3/4 of a second every lap at the moment. He's just got to stay calm. And in a strange way, I hope that the drivers behind him catch up and start pushing him along. Or that these top 3 start fighting amongst themselves. But I don't think they're going to do that at this stage. Still 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. There's number 20 of Enzo Butterazzi looking to try and get past Otis Cleary. Coming around to complete another lap then. Still that order of Musk, Ackerman, and Musk, Newstead and Ackerman. Down the inside, Butterazzi looking for a way past Kian Amy and has found a way past the number 34. Nice move there from Enzo Butterazzi. Had a bit of drama early on in this race. With the kart that we saw having trouble down at the Stratford corner, but has recovered well. Don't worry about Harley Musk on the timing tumbling down. There is a known issue with the transponder on the number 21 kart. Looks like the group involving Jarlath Sayer and Enzo Butterazzi have caught up now to the number 44 of Sukhmani Kira. Still need to work together. There is a chance that they could close in Will Green if they work together. 2.4 seconds. Still Will Green without any help from ahead or behind. Low 51s, high 50s is what the number 54 is capable. Oh, Kira a little bit wide there, coming off of Wilkins, maybe under attack here from Sayer and Butterazzi. Butterazzi really is driving well through the course this second half of the race. Jarlath Sayer having a little bit of a go there in the number 49. Time continued to tick away. Down the inside there goes Jarlath Sayer. Textbook move from Jarlath Sayer. Got the braking spot on. Used the grip of those tyres. Still on the number 49. That was a very nice move indeed. And that is Sayer up to 6th place now. Manavdew is having a good race. He's up into the top 10. Our single novice running in this category today. Number 85 there of Otis Cleary doesn't move down the inside of Key and Amy. That's good for 8th place. Side by side between Butterazzi and Sayer. And look at this. That is very well read by Otis Cleary. Up the inside of 1, maybe 2. Side by side with Sayer as they go through Park Bend. Brilliant racing here in the IAME Cadets in the latter stages of the final for the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix. This is all going well for Sukhmani Kira, because it just means that Sukhmani is able to hold on to that 5th place whilst the other drivers behind battle it out over 6th. We'll see whether this is going to be last lap or not. 10 seconds on the clock for our leaders, who I think are coming round the final corner now. Time has expired. Yes, so this will be the last lap then. We've seen Musk, Newstead and Ackerman fighting their way through as Jarlath Sayer goes back past Otis Cleary there. Is Austin Newstead in the mood to make a move? Took one heat win earlier yesterday. This morning it was Harley Musk who took the win, and Musk is going to defend now onto the inside through the Stratford corner. They've dropped Jensen Ackerman. I think Jensen Ackerman's going to have to settle for 3rd place unless these two make a mistake and open the door for the number 12 to hop through. Got to think that the run down into Wilkins is the chance for Austin Newstead. He's won many races before. Is he going to find a way through? Good driving there from Harley Musk, locking it down. Oh, there's a bit of a gap there. Is it going to be a drag race to the line? Yes, it is, side by side between Harley Musk and Austin Newstead. Who's going to take it in IAME Cadet? It's Musk. Musk takes it on the line ahead of Austin Newstead, becomes the E-Plate holder and wins in IAME Cadet. A brilliant finish there. Credit to both drivers. Jensen Ackerman in 3rd, 4th for Will Green, 5th for Sukhmani Kira, Enzo Butterazzi in 6th, Jarlath Sayer 7th, Otis Cleary 8th, Kian Amy 9th, and Manavdew completes the top 10 there. A fantastic work from Harley Musk to soak up that pressure. Wins the E-Plate. Musk, Newstead and Ackerman take the sets of Dunlop tyres. Big thanks to our sponsors for the IAME Cadet here today, Spellfame Karting and Dunlop. Lots of entertainment from the cadets. We'll move on now to the next race on our schedule, race number 29, the final for Junior TKM. Here we go then for the final in Junior TKM, sponsored by Formula TKM. Should be a very intriguing race this, with 21 runners. Leon Frost has pole position for this race. Luke Bate alongside on the front row. James Morley, the current O-Plate holder, has Jan Calichurn for company on row number 2. Luke Jarman and Dara McKinney there on row number 3. Patrick Leaf and Sasha Bagley on row 4. Harley Mason and Olivia Jakins on row 5. Jack Stewart and Aidan Mitchell on row number 6. Ben Hurrell and William Tilden Bloom on row 7. Leo Robinson and Harry Morris on row 8. Aidan Bourne and Monty Brathwaite are there on row 9. Jack Morrison and Lewis Payton there on row 10. So we have had one withdrawal since the paper grid was printed out. There are our Junior TKM drivers. ready to go. I think they'll be... I think this is a slight pause just to recover some of the karts from last time round. I hope you're enjoying the coverage here on Alpha Live. Andrew Mather from Double Dash Motorsport Media on commentary duties for you here today. And let us know who you're supporting here today. Which races are you looking forward to across the course of the afternoon as well? Green flag is out for the formation lap for Junior TKM. So the driver's heading out on circuit then. And lots of folks noting that, yes, it was very, very close on the timing. So we should stress that all results declared at the end of the races are provisional, will be checked, will be verified by our hard working team in race control. And a very entertaining race nonetheless between two great drivers. Another one set up here though in Junior TKM. So Leon Frost will take it from pole position then here in Junior TKM, and there's going to be a restart. The even side of the grid were not formed up there. Good weekend so far for Leon Frost. Was fastest in timed qualifying yesterday, and took both heats, yesterday afternoon's heat and the one this morning. The crucial thing here: can Leon Frost remain top of the order in this race? The winner receives the E Plate and a voucher to spend with Talco. Thank you very much to Formula TKM, our sponsors for this race. Through and round the final corner then. Ready to go here for the final in Junior TKM. Eyes on the lights. Green and racing here at Shenington for 10 minutes plus 1 lap in the Junior TKM Final. Great start for Leon Frost. Clear out front, there's a spinner, 2 off, the number 54 and the 56. That's Adam Bourne and William Tilden Bloom are already as well as out of this race. They're both fine, they're both running again, but that's not the kind of starts that they would have wanted. Down through the Stratford corner they go towards the Bruno chicane. Big swarm of karts as they go into the Bruno chicane. This is going to be another closer one, I feel. Instant almost clear down at Cafe Corner. Good start for the number 95 of Luke Bate as well. Has held that position from the front of the order on the front row. End of lap number 1 then. It's Frost from Bate, Calichurn third. Mason, Jarman, Robinson, Hurrell. That is your top 7. McInerney in 8th place, Mitchell 9th, and then Patrick Leaf completing the top 10. There was trouble on that first lap confirmed for Adam Bourne and William Tilden Bloom. Just trying to catch a sight of whether the O plate is still out there as well. Not seen. James Morley in focus for a while. We have had a couple of transponders have issues today. Down the inside there. No, there is the O plate. Yep, so Morley is absolutely fine, but that was a cracking move from Yehan Calichurn to take 2nd place in the black suit there, number 28. Running past us here in the comms box through Cafe Corner. Junior TKM, well, all of our junior classes today. All these drivers up for the Gil Rickson Trophy for the Junior Driver of the Day. Hello to Adam Crossfire in the comments. He says, great to see TKM still going after all these years. Got to agree with you there, Adam. Fantastic category, one of my favourites. Down the inside goes Leon Frost. Retakes the lead from Jan Calichurn. He's not going to have things all his own way in this race, but we know with the speed that Frost has around this circuit, and he's demonstrated so far this weekend, it's going to be a big, mighty drive to knock him off that top step once the checkered flag comes out. But Calichurn's going to go back down the inside, gets the move done. Very nicely done once again from the driver in the number 28. But look at how they're all forming up behind. Number 63 of Harley Mason having a look there. The E Plate of Dara in there is really getting involved. Trying to find a way through. McKinney having a good scrap. Frost has another look down into Wilkins. Doesn't make it stick that time though. Harley Mason is nicely coming into this battle at the moment. 7 minutes to go. There's a number 14 of Aidan Mitchell running in the mid-pack. Down the inside again. Here goes Frost for the lead of the race. And is there going to be an opportunity for Morley to get through as well? Yes, there is. James Morley up to second place. Here comes the 95 of Luke Bate. Trying to take third. Not a good couple of corners there for Jan Kalichern. A crucial moment this. Bit of a gap now between second and third. Two TWM drivers there. TKM looking to get a good victory here today. Here's an opportunity for their drivers to work together and push off the front of the field. I think there's a report of damage on the number 95. How's that front bumper looking? Oh, there's a bit of a bump there for Luke Bate. Jan Kalichern back down the inside. It's good on the brakes here today, is Kalichern. Bit of a point to the head. Let's think about this, says to Luke Bate. McKinney and Jenkins are gaining positions, so that's 8th and 9th now for McKinney and Jenkins, both past Ben Hurrell. I think it's okay. I think the Luke Bate number 95 Kart is A-okay in terms of any damage. No need to worry at the moment regards that. Midway point of the Junior TKM Final. Temperatures still warm here at Shenington. A real test of fitness here today for all of our drivers. Frost and Morley doing exactly what they should be doing, and that is working together at the moment. There's the number 38 of Monty Brathwaite, currently our top novice in this race. Here's Brathwaite running strongly there as a novice in 15th place. Kalichern, Bate, Morley, that's your 3rd, 4th, 5th group at the moment. Is there a problem there for Luke Jarman? Just saw a bit of a gesture from the driver in the number 18. He's been fairly quiet in this race up to now. He's got good speed though. Has driven off ahead of Olivia Jenkins. Jenkins has got past McKinney. There is Luke Jarman. Needing a bit of help from behind. And maybe that is what Olivia Jenkins will be able to step in with. His 3rd, 4th, 5th battle, still with Kalichern at the front of it. Bates there in 4th. Harley Mason in 5th. New fastest lap of the race has just gone in from the driver in 2nd place, the O Plate, James Morley. If he were a driver of James Morley's standard, he's been in this position before. Here's Bate looking down the inside, going for 3rd place. Yes, Luke Bate goes for it. Mason trying to fight through as well. Kalichern's not having any of it. Takes back 4th place. He was 2nd in timed qualifying early this weekend for Morley. 2nd place in Heat 1 yesterday. This morning it was 4th place in heat number 2. As Mason getting all crossed up, but a brilliant move. Gets past Kalichern, had to fight for that one. But Harley Mason up to 4th place now. 3 minutes on the clock. Plenty of overtaking going on here in the Junior TKM Final. I think Patrick Leaf is on the move. Leo Robinson as well. Leo Robinson, who's had a very up and down weekend so far. Not a good time in his first heat yesterday, but a sterling drive in heat number 2. It's unfortunately, it's just kind of in the middle at the moment for Leo Robinson inside the top 10, but would have wanted a lot more this weekend. Here are the two teammates then. Frost and Morley at the front of the field. Down the inside goes Harley Mason. Harley Mason is in the mood today. Harley up to 3rd. Time ticks on by, 10 laps completed. Leon Frost still leading in this one. But the TWM drivers just playing this calmly, playing the strategy. Not wanting to make this too messy. There's still a good amount of time on the clock. Going through the Bruno chicane. Bate and Calichurn are not out of this one. Dara McInerney is just getting stronger and stronger as this race goes on. The current E Plate holder. McInerney is up to, I think, 6th place now. Yeah, just keep an eye on that E Plate. It's not done here with 90 seconds on the clock, 45 seconds on the lap times. And down, oh, now the race is on. Now the race is on. The TWM drivers not working together any longer. Leon Frost having to defend there from James Morley. And Morley looking down the inside there as they're approaching. Oh, contact! Contact between the two teammates. And nearly contact again. Rubbing wheel to wheel there. Frost and Morley. In comes McInerney. Gaining another position, and Dara's really not out of this. Dara McInerney is really got a good chance here of retaining this E-Plate. Especially if we have more moments like that, because look how much that has closed up the gap. They had a second to a second and a half, and all of a sudden we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of them will feel like they've got a chance here of taking the junior TKM title for the Shenington SuperPrix in 2022. It'll be close as to whether this next crossing of the line is last lap or penultimate lap. If there's 1 second on the clock, they'll go round for an extra one. It's going to be more than 1 second on the clock. It's going to be 6 or 7, and now the race is on. Can Leon Frost hold on to this victory? It's been at the front of the order throughout the weekend so far. James Morley still there. Frost is going to have to defend. And it's Mason in there. Mason fighting through, and Mason's got up to 2nd place. So good stuff there from Harley Mason. Harley Mason has got everything right so far in this race. Every move, every defensive position. Oh, it's being forced down there. Harley Mason hasn't got to run up on the inside. All over the curb. Robust defending from Leon Frost. Last lap board is about to come out. And Harley Mason is in a great position here to try and make a move to get by and take the race victory. Become the first driver to beat Leon Frost so far this weekend. Frost must defend as they come through Pitts Bend and down towards the Stratford hairpin. To the inside. Mason trying to go around the outside. Is there space there for James Morley to cut underneath? Yes, there is. Morley back up to 2nd place. Morley's got to get a good run through the Bruno chicane here. Luke Bates still there as in 4th place. Oh, mistake! Mistake from Frost. He's going to be out of shape. Forcing down there. It's 3 wide. 3 wide as they go towards the last opportunity to get an overtaking. Morley's down the inside. Has taken the lead. Mason trying to go around the outside. Have you ever seen anything like this? They're all over the place. It's going to be Calichurn. Calichurn's come through the middle of it all and avoided the contact. It takes the win. What a dramatic finish to the junior TKM final. The teammates collide. About half of them were on the grass. Drivers furious with one another. And Jan Calichurn has won the Shenington SuperPrix Junior TKM class for 2022. You've got to be in it to win it. And that was an absolutely fantastic response from Jan Calichurn to pick the way through there. Takes the victory ahead of Harley Mason. Olivia Jenkins is on the podium in 3rd. Wow, I have not seen a finish to a kart race like that in a very long time. There will be words. There may be ramifications for that in the steward's office and other places as well. Whoa, boy, we'll catch our breath then. Well, whilst we ponder on that junior TKM final. Next up out on circuit is the final, race number 30 on your programmes for Junior Max and Mini Max. Two classes going out for their finals in this next race. Let's have a look at the grid. Junior Max, we'll have Harry Maynard on pole position. Ben Crossley joining Harry on the front row, Billy Edgecombe and Harry Pullen on row 2, William Pemble and Ryan Ward on row number 3. Callum Gosh and Ewan Thomas will be there on row 4, Alfie Thompson and Harrison Morrow on row 5, Tristan Bernard and Iggy Smith on row 4. George Allen and Torrin Burns start on the 7th row of the grid. Daniel Gurney and Jamie Salter go from row 8. James Tester and Charlie F. Grave start on row 9, and then it'll be Nicholas Ellis completing the 19 junior runners. Here you go for your Minimax runners. Lucas Blanford will have pole position, Oliver Smith second. Third place for Joshua Bagembi, fourth for Ryan Gill, Jasmine Taylor fifth, and then Jake Schulz in sixth. Jaden Haynes in 7th place. William Webb and Adam Hill completes the 9 runners in Minimax. Big thanks to our sponsors in this one, Jag Engineering. A set of Mojo tyres going to each class winner in both Mini and Junior, and some very strong drivers in this field we've had the pleasure of watching over the last few months. And calm in the dummy grid at the moment, but the heat still rising here at Shenington. Very warm out there on circuit. There are the Mini drivers, noted with the yellow backgrounds on their number boards. We'll go a little bit further forward. The juniors, you'll be able to tell them the difference to them with the red number boards. There's Lucas Blanford. He's had a great weekend so far as Lucas Blanford. Double winner in the heats so far. Joshua Bagembi back here after having an incident at fullback a couple of weeks ago. Had a bit of an injured hand that he's fought back from. Confirmed there's no lasting damage to his hand there. Good to see him back in good form here at Shenington. So the juniors out on circuit, there they are. Class winners so far in their category. A perfect weekend for Harry Maynard, pole position in timed qualifying, and 2 wins so far for Maynard in the number 93. But as we've just seen with Junior TKM, that does not guarantee anything in a 10 minutes plus 1 lap final. Away we go then for the final in Junior Max. Field flowing through Cafe Corner, all clean, and away they go. We'll keep abreast of the situation in both races here. And away go the Minis for the start of their race. Similarly making it through with little drama. Oh, a bit of a wide moment there from Jaden Haynes. He's forced out wide. So the Minis heading down towards the hairpin for the first time. There is a yellow flag out down there. I think that's because those tyres have been moved out of their normal position. One of our marshals going across to put that right. Big thanks to all of our hard-working team. Marshall team here this weekend. Couldn't go racing without them. So end of lap number 1 then in Junior Max. You've got Harry Maynard leading by 0.4 of a second ahead of Billy Edgecombe. Ben Crossley, William Pemble and Callum Gosh complete the top 5. Meanwhile in Mini, it looks like Blanford has converted this pole position into an early race lead in number 59. Oliver Smith, Ryan Gill, Jasmine Taylor and Joshua Bagembi is your top 5. Maynard leading the race clear at the moment. This has been a very good start. That's also a very good move from Ben Crossley down the inside. Takes second place away from Billy Edgecombe. Meanwhile, it's still looking good for Blanford in the Minis. Who else have we got towards the front here? William Pemble's had a good weekend so far there in the number 99. 5th in qualifying, went backwards a little bit in the first race. In the first heat, we finished 7th and responded with a top 3 this morning in the second. I think we'll fancy his chances here in this final. Longer race. Number 17 there, going down the inside. That's Ryan Ward looking for a way past Tristan Bernard in number 15. Makes it work. George Allen nips in there, takes a position as well. Iggy Smith currently running strongly in 10th place, top novice in juniors. The drivers denoted with the black backgrounds on their number boards. Just the single novice in Mini to report about. William Webb currently running in 7th place in Mini. Still Blanford at the front of Mini though. Three minutes gone in this first part of the Junior Max and Mini Max final. There is Lucas Blanford looking very comfortable. Backing himself with the pace in the number 59 so far this weekend. 0.9 of a second is the gap for Blanford ahead of Gill after 3 complete laps of the circuit. Back with the front of things in junior, still Maynard from Crossley, Edgecombe, Pemble, Gosh, Thomas, Thompson, Allen, Ward and Smith. That is your top 10. Just had a sight there of Daniel Gurney is down the inside, goes Crossley, retakes second place, battling here with the number 95. No, that's a change for the lead. So Ben Crossley has caught Harry Maynard. Sorry, that caught me by surprise. Maynard was comfortable in this race, but I don't know whether something has gone wrong on that lap because the gap has closed very, very quickly. Ben Crossley has taken the lead. So a complete change of the story here. Contact warning for Tristan Bernard in the number 15. Well, this was not expected with the story of the weekend so far. Harry Maynard all of a sudden has got a fight on here. Got to give it to Ben Crossley. Stuck at it. It's pulled away from Billy Edgecombe. Down the inside there goes the number 11 of Ewan Thomas. That's Ewan Thomas now up to what should be 5th place. Second place in both of the heats so far this weekend for Ben Crossley. He won't mind about that if he can pull away from the number 93 here. The drivers have been talking about keeping something in reserve for these finals. Here we are in Minis. This is the fight over 3rd place in Mini Max. Jasmine Taylor, the number 84 there, leading that group. The 38 of Oliver Smith and the 52 of Joshua Bagembi also involved. Billy Edgecombe and William Pemble. This is the scenario over 3rd place. Don't worry about Maynard dropping down the order. That's a little bit of a transponder issue. I've just seen the number 93 flash by the comms box here. A-OK at the moment, but doesn't want to be here in 2nd place. Wants to keep this form going. Race quickly going on by. We've already got 4.5 minutes. We're into the second half of the race. 4.5 minutes on the clock to go. Ice cream is very much the order of the day here at Shenington. Temperature's still in the high 20s, but feels like a lot more if you've been out in the sun all day. Do make sure that you're keeping yourself hydrated and take shade when possible. It's a long day in the sun here during this heat wave. 4 minutes to go. Lucas Blanford still looking in control at the front, and there's been a change for 3rd place in Minimax. Bagembi through. Jasmine Taylor back down the inside there as they go into Wilkins. The number 38 of Oliver Smith is there. And so it actually goes back to how it was. Taylor, Smith and Bagembi 3rd, 4th, 5th. 3.5 minutes to go. Ben Crossley still in control of this race. As there's the number 17 of Ryan Ward. That's going for a move on the 98 of George Allen. And I'm not too pleased about that, but I don't think there was too much wrong in that move for me. The number 27 of Jake Schulz is coming into the fight for 3rd place. James Tester has just got past Torin Byrne for 17th. Harry Pullen has also improved to 10th place, got past Tristan Bernard in that fight there for getting inside the top 10. 3 minutes to go. 0.35 of a second for Crossley then is the lead. Fastest lap for the race leader, 43.43. And thanks once again to Brian Roman, who's kindly sponsored all of the trophies for each of the fastest laps across the finals here today at Shenington. You're watching live coverage for 2022 Shenington SuperPrix. This is your Junior and Minimax final, sponsored by Jag Engineering. Still get the feeling that this one's not over. Bugembi's got in front of Oliver Smith there. Number 52 back ahead of the 38. Set of Mojo tyres going to each of the class winners. Harrison Morrow has also gained a position, has got past Iggy Smith for 12th. And keep an eye on Ewan Thomas as well. One of those drivers who's just got a little bit under the radar so far in this race, but he's up to 4th place now in Junior Max. And if it gets a bit tight at the end of this race, as we saw with Junior TKM, could still be all to play for. Here is your two leaders. And, well, look at this. Ryan Gill has closed up to Lucas Blanford. Are we going to see a similar situation to what we've seen in the juniors? A race leader, a clean sweeper so far this weekend, looking like in control, and all of a sudden, the story's just changed a bit. Blanford having to defend now from Ryan Gill. Results so far this weekend for Ryan Gill, who did have the best lap time in time qualifying, but was 6th in the first heat and 2nd in the second heat earlier on this morning. Now Gill has the single lap pace. He's got to put a move in here on Lucas Blanford. If the win in the Shenington SuperPrix 2022 is to be going to the number 34, there will be, I think this will be penultimate lap. They came across the line with about 41.5, 42 seconds. Lap times at the moment 43. Side by side, Blanford and Gill. Gill trying to do a switchback there as they go into the Stratford hairpin. I think we've had a change in juniors as well. I think Harry Maynard has got back ahead of Ben Crossley. So we've got two fantastic squabbles going on here for Junior and Minimax. I've just actually know to correct myself, for the minis, there's going to be 2 more laps because the time's going to be running out now. The juniors will see last lap the next time they cross start finish, but of course the leaders in Minimax are a little bit further back than that. So that battle rages on between Blanford and Gill. Last lap out then, Harry Maynard, number 93, coming across start finish now. There is Harry Maynard, and this is a really, really sterling effort from Harry Maynard. He's fought back here, lost the lead early in the race. Just go back to what we've been talking about across the course of the day so far. Holding something in reserve, making sure you are quick and on the attack at the end of these races in the finals on such a hot day. And that is exactly what Harry Maynard has done here. Tactically spot on. Still, Lucas Blanford leading in Mini as well. Now they see the last lap board. The leader coming round then, around the final corner to take the race victory. There it is. It's Harry Maynard taking the win in Junior Max. Had to fight there to beat Ben Crossley, but did it in the end by 1/3 of a second. Ewan Thomas finishes in 3rd, Billy Edgecombe in 4th, William Pemble 5th, Callum Ghosh 6th, Ryan Ward, Alfie Thompson, George Allen and Harry Pullen completing the top 10. We're just waiting now for the minis to come round. That key battle between Lucas Blanford and Ryan Gill. Who is going to take it in Minimax here for the Shenington SuperPrix 2022? We're waiting for them to come around the corner. It's going to be Blanford. Lucas Blanford wins in Minimax. Very well done to Lucas there in the number 59. Ryan Gill pushed him all the way for 2nd place. Joshua Bugembi fights through, having had a bit of an injury a few weeks ago. That is Bugembi back on form in third place. Jasmine Taylor strong again this season in Minimax, finishes in fourth. Fifth for Jake Schulz. Sixth for Jaden Haynes. Seventh Adam Hill. And seventh for William Webb. Great race there. Tight battles at the front of each of those classes, but it's Harry Maynard and Lucas Blanford who are your winners, and they will receive a set of Mojo tyres. Big thanks to their sponsors in that race, Jag Engineering. Right, we're rattling through them. Let's get ready for our next race out on circuit, race number 31 in your race programmes. It's the final for IAME Waterswift. Here we go then for the IAME Waterswift Final. Here's your grid. Jesse Phillips, perfect run through the heats, has pole position. Riley Cranham alongside on the front row. Henry Domain and Jensen Graham on row 2. Kanish Grau and Lewis Islin on row number 3. Kit Bolowski starts on row 4 alongside Jorge Edgar. Jensen Jones and Henry Carter completing the top 10. Laith Khan and Jacob Backler are there on the 4th row of the grid. We'll find Max Fallon and Rocco Shenton on row 7. Ethan Weldon completes the 15 kart field expected for this IAME Waterswift Final. And we've got 15 karts out on circuit, I can see on timing. So a relatively new category to the UK here, the IAME Waterswift category, but a very strong field here, I must say. A lot of talent on this grid, and this should be quite a race. It'll be 10 minutes plus 1 lap, all ready to go here at Shenington, and the start of the IAME Waterswift Final. Into the first couple of corners they go. Are they all going to make it through? Yep, very clean start that from the IAME Waterswift drivers. And already heading on their way down to the Stratford corner. Jesse Phillips has had a great start there in the number 26 down the inside the 18 of Riley Cranham. Going for second place. Oh, a little bit caught up there, the number 63 of Max Fallon. A lot of support from Fusion Motorsport in this category. Number 65 of Harry Domain there. Henry Domain, apologies, has had a great start. Side by side there between the two Croc Promotion karts. It's number 86 of Rocco Shenton already on the move. Well, we've seen Rocco Shenton perform brilliantly in the Honda Cadets earlier on today. Definitely tuned in to the track conditions. Out of lap number 1 then, Phillips from Cranham, Domain, Graham, Rao, Edgar. That is your top 6. Couple of moves being done there. Good pace to the start of this race. Again, with the nature of this circuit and what we've seen in the finals so far, all of these drivers will know it's very easy to lose touch by going for a bit of a 50-50 move. Cannot lose the slipstream around here. Got to keep yourself tucked up behind the rear bumper of the next kart ahead and keep yourself in play until you get to the last couple of minutes of a race. But Jesse Phillips is dealing with the pressure quite well here, as we've come to expect from Phillips. Very experienced at this level. 2 minutes gone on the time. Jensen Jones confirmed has got past Max Fallon. That's the number 24 going past the 63. Jorge Edgar also got by past Kanish Grau last time around, so it's 5th place now for Jorge Edgar. And defending as well is Edgar from the number 22 of Kanish Grau. There's this top 6 at the moment looking in control of this one. Lewis Islin is there in 7th place. Could do with some help from Henry Carter behind. Not such a good lap that time around for Rocco Shenton. Rocco Shenton down to 11th place. Pace at the moment, all of these top 6 in the mid 48s. Okay, Edgar though is the holder of the fastest lap of this race. 48.465 so far after 3 laps. Looking down the inside there, that's Jensen Graham. Door open there from Henry Domain. A relatively easy move there for Jensen Graham. The size of the gap almost surprised the driver in the number 27 there. But truly accepted the opportunity, moved by into 3rd place. Jesse Phillips and Riley Cranham, though, still at the front of this order, doing nicely. Here comes Jorge. I'm liking this race so far from Jorge Edgar. Another personal best, another fastest lap of the race so far, 48.443. Jorge is the fastest driver out there at the moment. Another point there from Rocco Shenton to say, let's keep working together, let's push forward. Jenson Jones has received a contact warning. Big thanks to our sponsors in this race. IAME, the heart of kart, winning this race. I mean that the driver is eligible for one of the 15 entry tickets to the IAME International Finals. Eligibility is to be confirmed. They've got to go and do races at Kart Masters and the IAME Oak Plates later in the year as well. That's why a lot of these drivers are here today. They want to try and get to those IAME International Finals. Very high profile event for these drivers. They've seen some British success at those finals over the last few years. Approaching the second half of this race though, Jorge Edgar having a fight there with the number 27 of Jensen Graham, and Graham gets back through, takes 3rd place. There's a warning to Rocco Shenton for blocking is what I'm seeing on my timing screen. Just to confirm as well, we have had a confirmed result for the IAME Cadet class, and it is different. Austin Newstead took it by 0.01 of a second ahead of Harley Musk, so a brilliant result there, driving to the end from Austin Newstead, and maybe we'll see Austin in this category in the years to come. Kanish Grau getting involved there, number 22. Henry Domain just lacking a bit of pace, I feel, at the moment. Was just running as high as 3rd, is now sitting there in 6th place. As once again, Edgar down the inside of Graham, retakes 3rd place. Is this allowing Phillips and Cranham to get away? At the moment it is. 4 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. Leaders heading down towards Stratford Corner then. Phillips has got a nice lead here, 0.4 of a second. He's under any immediate pressure from Riley Cranham. Jorge Edgar though, can that pace that we've seen in the number 17, whilst the number 17 has been in slipstream, be converted into pushing further ahead? At the moment, the answer is still open to interpretation. Big lap there from Phillips, 48.459. Has now got a 0.9 second lead over Riley Cranham, and that is getting to the point where if Jesse Phillips can drop Riley Cranham, and Riley Cranham's actually dropped into the clutches of Jorge Edgar here, so Cranham is going to have to be looking behind at the moment instead of ahead. 3 minutes to go. You'd think with the mood that Jorge Edgar's been in so far today that there's, yep, here we go, down the inside, going for the overtake into Wilkins, right on cue, takes 2nd place. Now that's not necessarily too bad a place to be if you're Riley Cranham. Fastest driver on the circuit, now ahead, providing a bit of a slipstream. Edgar leading this one. George Edgar doing nice things at the moment. It's just kept it to the textbook at the moment. Speed has been there, the overtakes have been there. In the next few laps, very, very important for George Edgar to see if that gap at the moment, 1.0 seconds, can come down. Pace from Phillips without a toe has been very good. 48.459 the best from Phillips in the number 26. Cranham's just got to keep pushing there. What is the gap looking like? Well, at the moment, that is interesting. Very interesting. Phillips 48.6. Edgar 48.4. Cranham also 48.4. Gap down to 8.5 tenths then. Tactically, Edgar and Cranham have got to keep playing this smart. This isn't over yet. A tiny bit quicker than Phillips in the first sector. Second sector is where they'll be looking for the big gains, and they have got big gains. Edgar, new purple sector number 2. Cranham, a new personal best as well. They are doing the business at the moment. They are just bit by bit reeling Jesse Phillips in. 1 minute on the clock. There'll be 3 more laps. The gap is now down to 6.5 tenths. Kanish Grau still running well. Up to 4th place now in the number 22. Jensen Graham and Henry Domain just fading a little bit here in the heat. But George Edgar and Riley Cranham trying to play this one out. Cranham half looking for a move there, but doing it in a way that means that Edgar doesn't need to defend too hard or too much. 2 more laps to go then. There will be some time on the clock as Jesse Phillips crosses the line. This has felt like a better lap though from Jesse Phillips. This is a hard thing to do on your end. That is a good lap from Jesse Phillips. Has held and actually grown the gap up to and beyond 7 tenths of a second. 2 more laps. And this is going to be Jesse Phillips' win here today. We'll go forward to Kart Masters, go forward to the IAME Plate in search of that entry into the international finals. What are the times looking like? Again, Phillips is having a very strong finish here. He's holding off the charge of Edgar and Cranham. Last lap board is going to be out then. No more time on the clock. Jesse Phillips has led this race from the start. He's had pole position, has had 2 heat wins so far this weekend. He's just got to do 1 more kilometre, less than 1 kilometre now, to win this category for the Shenington SuperPrix of 2022. Doesn't need to defend down into the hairpin. George Edgar will start thinking about defending though. From the number 18 of Riley Cranham. Cranham's looking for a way through into the Bruno chicane. It's very tricky to actually get through there through the Bruno chicane. Best to wait for Wilkins, which is coming up in a few moments' time. But there's Jesse Phillips in control. Edgar defended to the inside. Got to get the run off the corner. Jesse Phillips takes a dominant victory in the IAME Waterswift Final. It's going to be 2nd place for George Edgar, 3rd place for Riley Cranham, 4th Kanish Grau, 5th place for Jensen Graham, 6th Henry Domain. Lewis Islin finishes in the top half there in 7th, 8th for Henry Carter, 9th Laith Khan. And on the line there, Jensen Jones takes 10th place. A very good performance indeed from Jesse Phillips. A well-deserved victory. Could we be seeing Jesse Phillips on the stage there at the IAME International Finals later in the year? We definitely hope so. Well done to all of those drivers. Great efforts so far this weekend. Let's move on to our next category, race number 32 on your programmes. It'll be the final for TKM Extreme. Here's a grid then for the TKM Extreme Final. Alistair Cresswell has had a very good weekend so far. Both wins in the heats and pole position. Starts there from pole position in the final. Joe Fowler is alongside on the front row. Harvey Roth and Aaron Lask are on row 2. James Whitaker and Jack Ransom on the 3rd row of the grid. Cian Bennett and Matt Cardwell will start on row number 4. And then we'll find Ashton Cox and Luke Woodward on row 5. Charlie King and Nathan Wells have work to do from row number 6 there in the midfield. And then we'll find James Ogden and Harrison Williams on row 7, Charlie Flynn and Jack Dan on row 8, Fen Chapman and Gareth Haynes, who had problems earlier on today in the second heat start there on row 9. And then Joshua Sheriff and Andrew Platt complete the top 20. Jack Foreman and Ryan Morgan start from the back of the field. 22 karts ready to go here. Another very high quality field. TKM Extreme. Never hold anything back. Are we ready to go here? Nope, we're going to go around and have a restart, which is very opportune in a way because we get to thank our sponsors for this race, Formula TKM. And the winner of this race will receive the E Plate for 2022 and a voucher to spend with Talco. I should mention as well that all senior categories are competing today for the Senior Driver of the Day trophy, sponsored by Shenington Kart Racing Club. Just about set to go then for the TKM Extreme Final for the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix. Cresswell and Fowler on the front row. Away we go then for 10 minutes plus 1 lap. Fowler trying to go around the outside there of Cresswell, attacking early on, but Cresswell has held it off well, holds the lead as they go through Pitts Bend for the first time in this one. Defensive to the inside there goes Cresswell. Took the opportunity to go and stand trackside for these drivers early on today. The speed at which they go into the Stratford hairpin, backing it in on the brakes. Very impressive stuff indeed. Alistair Cresswell controlling the early stages of this one. Joe Fowler there in second place. Aaron Lask's had a good start. Started fourth, is going to be classified third at the end of this first lap. It's Cresswell and Fowler, Lask, Roth, Ransom. Previous winner here in the top 5. Cardwell, Bennett, Cox, Whitaker and King. That is your top 10. Good start for Joshua Sheriff, up 4 positions to 13th. Down the inside for second place. There goes Aaron Lask. Looks like Harvey Roth's trying to get involved there as well with Joe Fowler. That's big incident in the background there, and a roll for the number 92. I think that's Andrew Platt. Yes, it is Andrew Platt. He's okay, which is the good news. That was a very dramatic incident going over the top and over at the Stratford hairpin. 8.5 minutes to go. I think the race is continuing, as we know that drivers involved in that incident are okay. A real shame that for Andrew Platt. Was looking to work from the back of the field here in this final. Yellow flags out obviously for that incident that the drivers are passing through. And as you can see there, yeah, and it's good to see that Andrew is still on his feet, looking all good. Just a bit annoyed and disappointed that that is the end of his race. Back at the front of the order though, Cresswell continues to lead. Lask in second place, Fowler third. There is number 62 of Cian Bennett, holding in 10th place at the moment. Nathan Wells has got past Luke Woodward for 11th. Charlie King also trying to progress, has got past James Whitaker for 8th place. I think Jack Foreman's had problems as well, our single novice in this race. Was off the back there by some 13 seconds or so. I imagine that was the kart Andrew Platt had that contact with. It flipped the number 92 over. Here we go then, Harvey Roth has got past Joe Fowler. It's down the inside there, Matt Cardwell. Very nice move on Jack Ransom. Jack we spoke to in the paddock earlier today. Has done relatively little racing in 2022. But great to see him back here in racing action in TKM Extreme at the Shenington SuperPrix. Good to see him with a smile on his face. Always happy chappy in the paddock. Field streaming through the Bruno chicane then. 6.5 minutes to go on the clock. And Alistair Cresswell just starting to do what we've seen a lot from him so far this weekend. Is down the inside there goes Roth for second place, gets past Aaron Lask. This characteristic of the races so far for Alistair Cresswell, just getting into his stride now. That was a 45.01 last time around, but it builds, it crescendos through the courses of these races. Really puts the marker down to the drivers behind us. Oh, there's been an incident right in front of me here at the comms box. Number 14's involved, the 61. So this is Harrison Williams and Jack Dan. There's another kart also in there. This is all on the exit of Pitts Bend. It's the number 57. All drivers okay, I'm glad to report. So James Ogden was the last of those involved there. He's currently not circulating on the timing, but I can assure you he's out on circuit because he's just driven away from in front of me. 5.5 minutes to go. Cresswell in control. Another low 45.06 last time around. The likes of Roth and Lask and Fowler have got to get themselves organised and work together as a train. Because at the moment, Cresswell is doing something that you don't often see here at Shenington, pulling away from a pack. Matt Cardwell has gained another position. He's got past, I think, Charlie King and Jack Ransom on that last lap. James Whittaker also improves up to 8th place, past Ashton Cox. Through Wilkins they go. You can see how these karts just take a slightly wider line than some of the junior and mini and cadet karts. Bigger in size and stature, of course. Opening up for that run through the latter part of Wilkins and on to the Park Straight. But good fight this at the moment. Lask, Fowler and Roth in there. The consistency of Cresswell at the moment, side by side through the Bruno chicane between the 58 of Ashton Cox. And that's the 63 in there as well of Matt Cardwell. Where's James Whittaker gone in all of this in the number 15? Good move there from Ashton Cox. Gains a position past the number 63. Yeah, so Cardwell starting to have some troubles, I think, out there. Starting to fade. Whittaker is still out there. He's actually ahead of this group. Away by quite a bit as well. James Whittaker really getting on with things in this middle phase of the race. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go on the clock. Also to report, Nathan Wells has got past Fen Chapman. Gareth Haynes, who's had a difficult weekend here at Shenington, has also capitalised on that. So that's Wells and Haynes both into now 14th and 15th places respectively. Down the inside there looking is Cardwell. Gets past Cox. Cox a little bit slow off the oh, is out of the race there is Jack Foreman. Jack Foreman, the number 22, has pulled off to driver's right on Park Straight and sadly goes no further. I think Jack Dan's had a problem, or a further problem from the one that we saw earlier off. Well, we saw it here in the comms box. It wasn't on the cameras. I can assure you the 61 was in a bit of trouble a few laps ago. You see there's another kart that's pulled off into the centre of the circuit. Can't quite make out the number on it. Driver understandably looking disappointed. This is just coming out of Cafe Corner. Still a good amount of time in this race. Alistair Cresswell leading by 2.2 seconds ahead of Aaron Lask and Harvey Roth. Like Joshua, it might be Joshua Sheriff who's come to a stop. Number 40 is falling down the order. Yes, it is. Sadly, Joshua Sheriff, who's out of the race. So quite a few retirements in this one, side by side. Ransom and Cardwell there. Jack Ransom looking to get the run off of the Bruno chicane and get alongside. Doesn't quite have the straight line speed though to hold that position. Ransom trying to find a way through. Well defended there from Matt Cardwell. James Whittaker, number 15, just passing through shots. Second half of the race from Whittaker, very good indeed. He's closing in on the group ahead. Could have an outside chance of a podium here as the number 64 and 62 go at it. This is Luke Woodward and Cian Bennett. This is over 7th place. Woodward slots in ahead. Ashton Cox just behind this group as well, number 58. Back towards the front though. 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Harvey Roth has got back ahead of Aaron Lask on that last tour of the circuit. I think they know now that 2nd is as good as it's going to get for them here today. E Plate and the Talco voucher at the moment very much going the way of Alistair Cresswell. Nice move there from Charlie King down the inside. Not seen too much of Charlie so far in this race in the number 16, but he's there. Very much in the fight. 20 seconds to go on the clock. There'll be 2 more laps. There's a warning for Ashton Cox in the number 58. Joe Fowler back up to 3rd place in that last lap. But Charlie King really coming strong here in the end of this race. 2nd place is not beyond doubt here for Charlie King. Just reminding me where Charlie started on the grid here. He worked his way nicely through the order. Started on the 6th row of the grid. Started 11th. And here he is. Sat 3rd in this train at the moment. It's all going over 2nd place. Alistair Cresswell still in control of this one. Don't worry about him. As Roth tries to defend, Fowler just behind. Is there a way through? Last lap then. Alistair Cresswell, current O plate holder. Is he going to add the E plate to that collection? We'll see in less than a minute's time. Harvey Roth continues to defend. This has been another brilliant race for TWM. Roth defends. And that may open, although it's going to be 3 wide almost, as here comes King down the inside of Fowler. Takes that opportunity. So Charlie King up to 3rd place. Try to get the good run off of the Bruno chicane. Set up one for 2nd place. But here comes Alistair Cresswell round the final corner. Alistair Cresswell takes the Shenington SuperPrix TKM Extreme Final with a dominant drive. 2nd place is going to go to Harvey Roth. 3rd to Charlie King. A very good result for the team there. Joe Fowler finishes in 4th. And how about that? TWM 1, 2 and 3. Could not ask for any more for that set of drivers, and they played that very, very well. So just to keep running down that order: Joe Fowler 4th, Aaron Lask in 5th, James Whittaker in 6th, Cian Bennett 7th, Luke Woodward in 8th place, 9th for Ashton Cox, and Matt Cardwell completes the top 10. But Alistair Cresswell, well, it never really looked in doubt, did it? A dominant display, takes the E plate and the Talco voucher. Big thanks to Formula TKM, the sponsors for TKM Extreme here at the Shenington SuperPrix for 2022. And that may well be one of the drives of the day, drives of the weekend from Alistair Cresswell. Short break then here, whilst a couple of the karts are just tended to from that TKM Extreme Final. Next out on circuit, race number 33, it's the X30 Junior Final. Here we go then, let's have a look at the grid for the X30 Junior Final. Ryan Etchberg has pole position, Leo Brown alongside on the front row, Ella Stevens and Isaac Phelps on row 2, Zach Green and Hadi Mamassi on row 3. Sorry, Stevens and Phelps on row 2, Green and Mamassi on row 3. Cian Geraghty and Charlie Morrison-Jones on row 4, Eden Spanswick and Hadley Simpson complete the top 5. Lewis Bird and Jack Collins sit there on row 6 rather. Getting my numbers mixed up. Luke Sintler and David McIntyre start on row 7. Jack Hobson and Emmanuel Hay go from row 8. Sam Branston and Katie Ashman start on row number 9. Ben Watkins and Hayden Bailey on row 10. Harry Redding and Diego Millward-Tizon on row 11. Johan Davies and Cameron Bernard start on row 12. Simon Burlick and Dylan Masters on row 13. Hugo Hines completes a big 27 karts field here in X30 Junior. It's one of our biggest of the day in a final. The results so far this weekend. Ryan Etchberg took a heat victory yesterday. It's been a very open class so far. This class sponsored once again by IAME, the Heart of Kart and Jade Racing Team. Winner takes the E Plate. Top three, a set of Comet tyres. 10 minutes on the clock. Away we go then for the X30 Junior Final here for the Shenington SuperPrix 2022. Big group of karts. Are they all going to make it through the first couple of corners? There's a couple riding on the curb, but apart from that, it's clean and good as we go down towards the Stratford hairpin for the first time. It's been a very good start for Ryan Etchberg. And clean again as they go through the hairpin. Good stuff indeed from our X30 Junior drivers. Again, a very strong field here today at Shenington. Lots of experience, lots of talent. Should make for a very dramatic race. Coming round to complete lap number 1 then in this X30 Junior Final. It's Etchberg, Stevens, Green, Brown, Geraghty, Phelps. That is your top 6. As we've seen with a couple of finals here today. The leader best not look over their shoulder right now because they'll see a big train of karts behind us. Down the inside, there goes Zach Green going for second place. Not quite able to get the move done, so Ella Stevens retakes the position. In fact, Leo Brown's fighting through as well. There's number 33 through and ahead of the 54, so that was well read by Leo Brown. Saw that as an opportunity to gain a position, move up through the order, and did just that. Plenty of support coming in for Jack Hobson, currently in 15th place. He's had a good start here. Harry Massey's had a good start, this upward position to 5th place off the start. This is another final that I feel is going to be about keeping yourself in that first group, that first bunch of karts for as long as possible. Not wanting to fight too hard. You can see there how close it is with Ella Stevens racing out of the Jade Racing Team awning this weekend. How much they would love to see a victory for Ella here. And Ella's down the inside there. Ryan Etchberg takes the lead. So Ella Stevens to the front of the order then. Ryan Etchberg didn't fight that one too hard. Gave the space on the inside. Recognised that there's a long way to go in this race. Some 7.5 minutes. That was very good indeed from Ella Stevens. Lewis Bird has gained a position on that last lap. Has got past Eden Spanswick for 10th place. Into Wilkins then. As the karts filing through. Sorry, just trying to catch the sight of which kart that was. I think it was Zach Green running wide there in number 54. Let's get back on top of this. I'm worried a little bit here for Zach Green. Losing positions. It can happen in a close race like this, where if you lose one position, makes yourself look a little bit vulnerable to the others. And they start going through as well. Ella Stevens continuing to lead here. Ryan Etchberg in second place. Leo Brown in second place. The number 33. Ryan Etchberg has actually fallen further back. Is now in third place. Key part this for Etchberg, just holding on to that rear bumper of Brown. There is a bit of a gap there as Brown down the inside out of nowhere. Really brave move there with Ella Stevens. Stevens tried to hold on to it. That was very, very close between the two of them. But Leo Brown has gone for it here on lap number 6 with a superb move into Park Bend. That's where Ella Stevens took the lead a few laps ago. Had do wonder whether that was a bit of a surprise for Ella Stevens to see a kart on her inside at that stage. It was a surprise to me in the commentary box. Running into the halfway stage of this race then. 5.5 minutes to go on the clock. Still very tight here. Oh, Hadi Mamasi looking down the inside there in the number 44 with the teal green and the white. Didn't quite pull it off on Ryan Etchberg, and now has to think about the number 35 of Isaac Phelps just behind. Zach Green has got back on top of things here, which is good to see. 6th place at the moment for Zach Green, but still has got pace. Just reforming. Has a bit of a gap to Cian Geraghty behind there in 7th place. David McIntyre, by the way, has got past Ben Watkins for 16th place. Into the second half of this race then. Leo Brown leads. Ella Stevens second. Ryan Etchberg in third. Hadi Mamasi is up to 4th place. Ryan Etchberg starting to get a touch stronger here. Really good run there. It's looking down the inside, and Ella Stevens into Stratford has got the move done. Here comes Mamasi as well. Has to elect to just slot in behind Stevens. But Etchberg up to 2nd place. Mamasi down the inside as they go through the Bruno chicane. How did that come about? Yes, he's got through. So Mamasi with a bold move into the Bruno chicane, up into 3rd. Just over 4 minutes then. It's actually been a good couple of laps for Leo Brown. Hasn't had to think too much about defending due to everything that's been going on behind. Ella Stevens, you'd argue, is now the one looking vulnerable, having lost a couple of positions, similar to Zach Green earlier on in this race, as Etchberg down the inside takes the lead. So Ryan Etchberg makes the move in the Stratford hairpin. That seems to be Etchberg's preferred spot. Leo Brown will not give this one up. Already seen great moves from Leo Brown in the earlier stages of this race. Contact warning, and there again, same move as before. He's trying it, but this time Etchberg holding round the outside, side by side, as they go through Cafe. Hadi Mamasi's going to go for it round the outside now. Great driving, great racing here in the X30 Junior Final. Etchberg to the inside. Brown still on the inside. Mamasi's trying to do one around the outside. That would be a remarkable move as it's all going on behind him. Mamasi's made it work. 2nd place is now attacking on Etchberg. Overtakes going on this way and that. What a race this has been so far. 3 minutes of it to go. Mamasi going for the inside. Shuts the door. Does Etchberg there. Back down the inside this time. It's the number 35 of Isaac Phelps. Great driving by Isaac Phelps. The last couple of corners has elevated himself from 5th place to 2nd on that lap, and this one is not over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'd still argue all the way down to Zach Green in this one. 2.5 minutes still on the clock. It's Etchberg, Phelps, Mamasi, Brown, Stevens, Green. And if you're Hadley Simpson right now in 7th place, you're enjoying this, because this is actually opening things up. We saw a very dramatic finish to one of the finals earlier on in the day. Right, oh, big off! Huge off! And that's Etchberg! It's Etchberg's the 2 leaders! It's the 2 leaders, Etchberg and Phelps, both off! Down at Hanger Corner! What triggered that? A big incident. Hadi Mamasi inherits the lead of the race then. Leo Brown is 2nd, 3rd for Ella Stevens. I really do hope that both drivers are okay down there. We've seen a couple of incidents down at Hanger so far today, and that is another one. That is not a small off indeed. I can only imagine that, again, it was a case of 2 karts getting locked together down the Hanger straight. Yellow flags out, of course. Less than 90 seconds to go. Could Hadi Mamasi hold on for a victory here? Leo Brown doesn't go for the move this time into Park Bend. Ella Stevens is still in this. 3rd place, Lewis Bird has got past Hadley Simpson for what is now 5th place. But Ryan Etchberg will not be happy. Isaac Phelps will also not be happy. They were in a brilliant position, competing for the win, but just like that, on lap 11, it's over, and they will not be taking the E-Plate here this year. Hadi Mamati continues to lead, though. Leo Brown looking for a way through. I think there may be a little bit of traffic for our leaders to potentially deal with as well. 2 more laps then, 2 more laps. 35 seconds on the clock. It's down the inside once again goes Brown. Has he got it? Yes, he has. What a move yet again by Leo Brown. Second time out of 3 that we've seen that move be pulled off. Now, what do you do if you're Leo Brown? You've got traffic ahead. Got to get past that. Good driving there from the number 67 of Dylan Masters. Just lets the traffic go by, but Masters trying to go around the outside once again into the Bruno chicane. What an overtake. Great opportunistic driving from Hadi Mamasi, and Hadi Mamasi retakes the lead. What a stunning race this has been so far, and it's not over yet. Last lap board about to come out then. Into Leo Brown's strong part of the circuit. Mimati's going to have to go defensive. Does go defensive. But is the line compromised? Well dealt with there by Mimati. Next opportunity down into the Stratford hairpin. Mimati's got about a kart length in the lead. Doesn't have to defend. Ella Stevens looking down the inside as well for second place. Still Mimati, Brown and Stevens. 1, 2, 3. But given how this race has gone, you still wouldn't count out the likes of Zach Green and Hadley Simpson in 4th and 5th. Not having a word in this top 3. Yellow flag is out for the karts down there at Hanger. Mimasi to the inside has just got to get off of Wilkins' corner. He's going to take one of the biggest victories in his young career. Hadi Mamasi wins in X30 Junior. A pulsating final here at Shenington. Hadi Mamasi takes the E-Plate from the Shenington SuperPrix in X30 Junior for 2022. Wins by a 10th and a half. Ahead of Leo Brown. 3rd place for Ella Stevens. 4th, Zach Green. 5th, Hadley Simpson. 6th, Kian Geraghty. 7th, Charlie Morrison Jones. 8th for Lewis Bird. 9th, Luke Sintler. And 10th for Sam Branston. Wow, what a race from the X30 Juniors. Very exciting stuff indeed once again here at Shenington. Don't go anywhere. We've got more racing coming up for you shortly. Next out on circuit, race 34. It's the A Final for Super 4 KZ. All set to go then for the one of the A finals that I've really been looking forward to here today. The Super 4 KZ UK Final. Tom Adams has pole position for it. Dan Kelly is there also on the front row of the grid. Ashley Lewis and Alan Kenyon are on row 2. Arvid Lindblad, great to see him here at Shenington. A lot of racing experience for him in the number 20, starts on row 3 alongside James Glenister. And we've got Lee Ward and Joe Charlton on row 4. Dan Gould, the current E-Plate holder, on row 5 alongside Jack Dex, racing for his own team here this weekend. Charlie Cole and Ryan Green are there on the 6th row of the grid. And then we move on to find Jordan Brown and Josh Price on row 7. Darren Allen and Spencer Shinner on row 8. Colin Smith and Luke Child are there on the 9th row of the grid. Jamie Perry and Ryan Simpson start on row 10. Dan McKeown and Michael Watton on row 11. Reece Cridland and Matt Marsh completes row 12. And then we'll have drivers moving through from the B final as well. Daniel Fletcher and Byron Kittle, the last of those to automatically qualify through to the A final. Richard Renshaw, panting our winner in the B final, starts on row 14 alongside Sam Nichols, who is second. Adam Holt and Luke Dawson there on the 15th row of the grid. 30 karts in the field, and I think there have been a couple of changes to those B final promotees. But slight pause in proceedings here. That will be due to just getting things out on circuit back into the correct safety positions. Plenty of comments coming in. Hello to LJC, who's cheering on our pole sitter Tom Adams in this next race. Keep your comments coming in. David Whitehouse, aka Motorsport Magpie, cheering on Jack Dex as well. And I know I've been saying it a lot today, but this, again, is a very, very strong field here in KZ today. I also want to give a shout out to James Glenister, because I think I'm right in saying that James was suffering a little bit earlier on today with a hand injury. He was just waiting and seeing if it was going to get any worse to decide whether he was going to continue or not. Slightly different format for the KZs. They've been racing through an average grid heat format. So across 4 heats, not everybody not competing normally. So everyone's had a front and middle and back start due to the number of entries that we've had here this weekend for Super 4 KZ. And as ever, we'll say big thanks to our sponsors of this class, Jack Dex Racing and Zipkart. Some great prizes available for this one. The winner gets a set of LeConte tyres, a VIP trip to the Silverstone Historic Race meeting in mid-October, along with their 50-year anniversary book. And we should mention as well that there is a Driver of the Day award for this category in memory of Stephen Coward, who sadly passed away last year since the last Shenington SuperPrix. And I know Stephen's family are here today. Great to have them here. Thank you so much for their continued support. And we race here today, particularly in this class in honour of Stephen's memory. As I say, really looking forward to this race. We'll be on the longer format of circuits as well. And as I look through the results of the heats, what I like here, there's not been a dominant force so far. It's been very open, hard to predict, which hopefully means that this is going to be a very exciting final here for Super 4 KZ. Drivers just trying to get as much heat into the tyres as they can. Track temperature, I would say, based on, I was at Silverstone last weekend and we had track temperatures in excess of 50 degrees where the tyres touch the surface. I imagine it's around similar today. Tom Adams, number 17 there on the right of your screen on pole position. Dan Kelly, the number 29, P2. Ashley Lewis and Alan Kenyon on row 2. Arvid Lindblad and James Glenister, row 3. Lee Ward and Joe Charlton, row 4. Dan Gould and Jack Dex on row 5. Charlie Cole and Ryan Green, row 6. Can't predict this one. This is going to be a humdinger. The A final for the Super 4 KZ UK category. You see the number 28 of Josh Price forming into position there, 14th on the grid. Darren Allen next, Spencer Shinner, who had problems in one of the heats earlier on. Be looking to move through. So much experience on this grid. European Karting Championship drivers, BTCC drivers past in previous years were just about formed up there on the grid. The number 85 completes. The tension rises here for the standing start in the Super 4 KZ UK A Final for the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix, and away we go. Good start for Adams, brilliant start for Alan Kenyon as they go into the first couple of corners. It is going to be the number 17 of Tom Adams leading away down towards the Stratford hairpin, the gearbox Stratford hairpin for this format. As look at them streaming down to the bottom hairpin. Oh, down the inside there went Arvid Lindblad in the number 20, was going for second place. Did Lindblad make that work? They're all through just about. There's a few carts spraying out at the back of the field. Frantic start here in KZ, as we expected. But that is just the start that pole sitter Tom Adams was looking for. Through Wilkins they go. Is that trouble for the 22? Yes, it is trouble for the 22 of James Glenister. That is a real shame. James had started from the third row of the grid. It's just not quite been James Glenister's weekend. And sadly it ends there on lap number 1. So Adams leads from Lindblad, Kelly, Lewis, Kenyon, Gould, Charlton, Ward, Cole and Brown. That is the top 10 at the end of lap number 1. Joe Charlton trying to make a move through there in the number 15. Tom Adams, though, really throwing the gauntlet down to the rest of the field. It's the top 4 that have broken away from the front of the order. Dan Gould there, current E Plate holder. Spoke to him earlier on this morning. Quietly confident is what I'd say. Knew that it was all going to be about this final and keeping something in reserve. I know we've been saying it a lot today, but particularly in this class, keeping those LeConte Racing tyres in some form of working order. I mean, they've been holding up fantastically, have the LeConte tyres. So there's the number 8 of Michael Watton trying to find a way through. He's currently, at last check, was down in 17th place. Dan Kelly, the number 29. Arvid Lindblad there in 2nd place. And that top 3 just starting to drop. Ashley Lewis now. Lee Ward is also on the move. He's up to 5th place. He's got past Dan Gould last time around. Joe Charlton and Charlie Cole have both got past Alan Kenyon. Jack Dex has also improved on that last lap. JDR will be happy to see that up into the top 10. It's down the inside for the lead of the race. Goes Lindblad. So Arvid Lindblad takes the lead. There's a mechanical flag for Colin Smith. Is fighting back here is Tom Adams. What a bit of drive that is from Tom Adams. Adams out of the Stratford corner, just seemed to breeze past Arvid Lindblad there. 3 minutes gone already here in the Super 4 KZ UKA final. Fastest driver out on circuit at the moment, Lee Ward, 44.63 for the number 5 in P5 at the moment. I'll look to try and yes, is in P5. It's down at the inside again. Here comes Lindblad. There's going to be a door open as well, possibly for Dan Kelly. And this time, Lindblad, aware of that cutback from Tom Adams, just slowed it up a little bit on the apex of the corner. Kept the door shut. Very heads-up driving from Arvid Lindblad. I mean, it's what we come to expect of a driver of Arvid Lindblad's talents and experience. So more racing to the front of the order. As into the pits there, I think, don't just see Joe Charlton coming into the pits. Nope, there was a helmet that looked like Joe Charlton's. I was mistaken there, apologies. But yes, down into the hairpin. Oh, a bit of a send there from Dan Kelly. Was looking for 2nd place on Tom Adams there because he can see Arvid Lindblad starting to gallop away here. I don't think we mentioned there's been problems for Byron Kittle and Ryan Simpson in this race, so sadly they are out of it. Black flag has now gone out for Colin Smith. Ah, yes, that's the number 16 that we said, we started to say before Arvid Lindblad put a move in, had a mechanical flag. So number 16 in 17th place. Is going to have to pull off the circuit here. Halfway through the time then. Arvid Lindblad controlling this race at the moment. Tom Adams, what's the pace looking like at the moment? 44.87 for Lindblad, 45.05 for Adams, almost an identical lap time from Dan Kelly. But keep an eye on Lee Ward, 44.72 last time around for Ward. Still the fastest driver out there on circuit. Yes, with a slipstream. He's looking good here, is Lee Ward, going through the course of this race. False alarm on Joe Charlton. He has gone round again. So it wasn't his helmet that I saw pass under the gantry here. He's running there in 7th place. Darren Allen, meanwhile, has got past Jordan Brown for 12th place. Once again, Kelly trying to work open the door there on Tom Adams. Here comes Lee Ward. Thinks better of it. Pulls out of that move into the Bruno chicane for 3rd place. Top 3 are all in the 44.8s at the moment. Lee Ward, 44.6 last time around. Won't be on this lap. He's a bit compromised there through the Bruno chicane. Dan Gould has also gained a position, has got past Ashley Lewis. Just see you passing through the shop there. E Plate up to 5th place. Jamie Perry has got past Jordan Brown. Jordan Brown struggling a little bit out there. And, oh, there it is. There's the move from Dan Kelly. So Dan Kelly has finally got through. Big half of a lap this. If Dan Kelly can pull away or show that he's got the speed to keep ahead of Tom Adams, Tom Adams may go into being more like an unofficial teammate mode at that point and push Kelly along. And it's looking good at the moment for Dan Kelly. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. New fastest lap of the race, in fact, for Dan Kelly, even with that overtake. So Dan Kelly hasn't given up on this. 3 minutes to go, still plenty of time. Spencer Shinner has become the latest driver to get past Jordan Brown. Into the Bruno chicane they go then. This is a good few laps from Dan Kelly. We're talking hundredths of a second, but Kelly is quicker than Lindblad at the moment. Tom Adams has just put in a purple sector 2. That gap is closing, 0.4 of a second there across the line. Very evenly matched in the final sector, which runs out of the Bruno chicane into start-finish line. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Oh, was that a mistake there from Dan Kelly? Got all crossed up, pushing so hard into Stratford Corner. Did very well to keep that all hooked up. Lindblad is responding, has just set a personal best in Sector 1 and in Sector number 2. Really tense stuff here in the Super 4 KZ UK A Final. That is a new personal best from Lindblad. First time into the 44.6s. And that time it was a 44.8 from Dan Kelly. Another drive here. We've seen a couple of these so far in these finals where the leader felt that pressure, felt it being applied, and then just stepped it up a gear. I feel that's what Arvid Lindblad is doing here in this particular race. To take that set of Econ Racing tyres and the trip to Silverstone Historic Race Meeting in mid-October. There's Joe Charlton, number 15, trying to find a way past Ashley Lewis there in the number 9 as, oh dear, out of the race is Jamie Perry. Jamie Perry in the number 57 has been off the road there. There's Jack Dex, number 99, running inside the top 10, pretty much as Jack Dex has done all weekend. Very good driving from Jack. And, a shout out to Lucas Ellingham as well, who's been on the spanners this weekend for Jack Dex. We normally see that the other way round. Ellingham's been doing a good amount of work on that kart this weekend. It's clearly showing that it's running well there in the top 10. 20 seconds to go then. I reckon Lindblad will come across the line. Yes, we'll get 2 more laps of this. That's good, because this has been a good amount of fun in this race. But Jack Dex Racing is sponsoring this race alongside with Zip Kart and the family of Stephen Coward. Big thanks to all of them for their continued support. Arvid Lindblad not too far away then, as, looking down the inside there, Charlie Cole deep on the brakes, trying to find a way past Joe Charlton. Couldn't do it that time. Arvid Lindblad coming down the back straight now, down Hanger Straight, looking completely in control of this one. I will say the last lap board will be out next time around. Got a little bit ahead of myself there. New fastest lap of the race from Lindblad, 44.6. Finishing this race strongly is Arvid Lindblad. Now a second clear of Dan Kelly. Tom Adams third, Lee Ward in fourth. I think that battle between Adams and Ward is the one that could change on this last lap. Ward forcing Adams to go defensive there. Ward holds on to it. But Arvid Lindblad just needs to get through a couple more corners It's been a classic Arvid Lindblad drive. To say, it's been great to have him here this weekend, and he's going to be the victor in Super 4 KZ. Arvid Lindblad takes the Shenington SuperPrix Super 4 KZ title for 2022. Dan Kelly in second, Tom Adams in third, Lee Ward in fourth place, Dan Gould fifth, Joe Charlton in sixth, Charlie Cole seventh, Jack Dex comes across the line classified in eighth, ninth place for Ryan Green, 10th place for Josh Price. And I think there may have been a problem or a transponder issue at the end there for Ashley Lewis. But it's Lindblad on his return here to Shenington who takes the race victory. And well, there was that slight moment about 3/4 of the way through the race where it looked like Lindblad was going to be pulled back in and may have something to think about, but he just stepped it up to that next level. Very good stuff there from Arvid Lindblad, and a deserved winner. Ashley Lewis has just been classified in 7th place, so yes, it was a transponder error. We're going to take a very short break and hear from some of our sponsors here for the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix. Next up out on circuit after that will be the 35th race on your programme, the 210 National Final. We'll be back shortly.
Shenington Kart Racing Club would like to thank the following for their support of the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix: Stu Stretton Photography, Spell Fame Karting, Rotax Jag Engineering, Dunlop, Birrell Art, Jack Dex Racing, LeConte Racing Tyres, Jade Racing Team, TCR UK, IAME The Heart of Kart, Formula TKM and Zipkart. Thank you for watching live coverage of the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix here on Alpha Live.
Time to go racing in the 210 National Final. Lee Plain has pole position. Lionel Seifleet alongside on the front row. Dan Berry and Aaron Seifleet on row 2. Robert Perkins and Paul Fowler on row number 3. Stuart Henry and Tony Berry on row 4. Neil Hancock and Thomas Stone complete the top 10 on the grid. Russell Hopes and Dan Rawdon on row number 6. And then we find Ray Sloan and Thomas Smith on row 7. Michael Owen and Shane Cox on row 8. David Scull and Mark Shepherd on row number 9. William Shelley and Anthony Cox on row 10. John Hutton completing the 21 runners scheduled in this one. Formation laps continuing here for the 210 Nationals. The category 40 years old this year are the 210 Nationals. That's what they've been celebrating. The sponsors for this category are the competitors themselves. The winner takes the E Plate. Number 29 just rolling out on circuit, I can see. That's Mark Shepherd. A couple of problems for the 57, which is Dan Rawdon, just in front of me here in the comms box. Keep an eye out there for Shane Cox, the number 69. Only kart in this race running an aerodynamics package. We spoke to him earlier during the paddock walk. Lee Plain runs well round here at Shenington. He's had a perfect weekend so far. Timed qualifying pole position. And heat wins in both of the heats so far. Continued problems for Mark Shepherd, unfortunately. It'll be a standing start. You're playing there, number 11 on the left-hand side of your screen, your pole sitter, Lionel Seifleet. The number 1 alongside on the front row, Dan Berry and Aaron Seifleet on row number 2. I think we're good to go then for racing here in the 210 National Final for the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix. Away we go. Good start for the number 1 of Lionel Seifleet, and will take the lead into the first couple of corners. Can Lee Plain fight back? Not this time. Seifleet leads as they go down towards Stratford for the first time in this one. 10 minutes. In fact, no, I think 8 minutes are on the clock here for the 210 Nationals. Down the inside defending is Lionel Seifleet. Aaron Seifleet runs a little bit wide. Out of the race on the first lap there is Dan Rawdon. He said that kart was having problems. Unfortunate there for Rawdon. Finally through the Bruno chicane. Taking care to get around those big curbs as change of the lead. Lee Plain has got back into the lead of the race then. As I say, has had a perfect weekend so far. Is a reduced race time. So 7 minutes left on the clock. Plain leads from Cyfleet, Lionel Cyfleet. Danbury in third, Aaron Cyfleet in fourth, Robert Perkins in fifth. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you mentioned, I think has there been problems with Thomas Smith and Shane Cox on that first lap also. Cox was saying earlier that there'd been a couple of drive issues and things to work on for the number 69, which would be a real shame because I was looking forward to seeing that aero dynamic equipped karts going around and seeing how it could do in this final. As another one out of the race. It's the number 53 of David Scull. So David Scull has a bit of a steamy finish to this race. Is that just a sign of how warm it is today, or has something gone pop? We'll remain to see on that one. Sadly, that does mean that David Scull is out of the race. Yellow flags out as the drivers head down towards Stratford Corner. As yes, that is for David Scull. Less than 6 minutes to go in this final then for the 210 Nationals. Lee Plain running strongly. 1.56 seconds is the lead for Lee Plain at the moment. Apologies for a couple of the technical issues with some of the transponders. Just seen that Aaron Cyfleet has hopped back up to fourth place there. Really friendly paddock, this one. 210 Nationals, lots of support across the field. Good range of ages racing in this category also. Just over 5 minutes on time remaining, so I think this race has been reduced as there were a couple of extra formation laps for the field. That's why it's not been a normal 10 minutes here. Number 4 there, Robert Perkins trying to find a way past Aaron Cyfleet in the O plate. The number 3 of Dan Berry just ahead. Quite wide these karts as well at the rear. A lot of muscle to get around the circuit. Heavier, hard work on a hot day like today. A couple of the drivers were struggling at times with the level of grip available, particularly from the rear tyres. It manifests itself in some interesting handling characteristics on these karts. Still Berry ahead of Cyfleet, and then Robert Perkins there. Just being patient at the moment, which is understandable. Good amount of racing to go. Just see Paul Fowler in the background there. In the number 5, there's been a change of position involving Thomas Smith and Anthony Cox. And there's Thomas Stone, or very briefly, the number 50 of Thomas Stone, running inside the top 10 at the moment. Leader in full control though. Lee Plain now leading by 4.5 seconds. Lionel Cyfleet in second place. Dan Berry holding on to third at the moment. This battle that we're concentrating on your Alpha Live stream. If you've enjoyed the coverage, if this is your first time here on Alpha Live in particular, and you don't mind doing so, click that subscribe button. It really does help us out to bring more action, more content like this to people around the world. Now we have got an international audience here today. Number 4 with Robert Perkins still. Can he hold on here? Is it just fading a bit there in the number 4? And Cyfleet just happy at the moment to hold in the wake of Dan Berry. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go then. New personal best last time around for Dan Berry, 52.69. Stuart Henry, I think, has got past Paul Fowler on that last lap. So that's the number 8. Past the 5, and that's down the inside there. Cyfleet going for the move on Berry. Has had enough of sitting in 3rd place. Berry's going to fight back though. We'll have the inside line into the next corner, which is the Bruno chicane, and less around the outside. Trying it is Aaron Cyfleet. Doesn't quite work. Might fall into the clutches now of Robert Perkins. There's the number 7 and the 50. That's Neil Hancock in the number 7, and Thomas Stone, the number 50, fighting over 7th place. So I'm not sure if it's a timing error for the number 5 Paul Fowler, but Paul Fowler has fallen down the order a fair way. Try and keep an eye out in the old-fashioned way, out the window, to see if the number 5 is still circulating. No, I think it has retired, because there goes the number 8 of Stuart Henry. Here comes the number 7 and the number 50. Yeah, I think that sadly means that Paul Fowler has stopped out there somewhere on circuit in the number 5. He's running nicely. Unfortunately, retires after 5 laps completed here for the 210 National Final. Stuart Henry there, now in 6th place. Bit of a lonely spot at the moment, because Stuart is 7 seconds ahead of Hancock and Stone. 8 seconds behind this trio here. We saw that attack from Aaron Cyfleet a lap or so ago. And since then hasn't quite been able to get back onto the rear axle of Dan Berry's number 3. More than thinking about Robert Perkins behind. Perkins has got a good run there through. Cyfleet's going to have to defend as they go down into Stratford Corner. 30 seconds on the clock. Number 4 pulling up alongside, and it's going to have the move here into the Bruno chicane. Through goes Robert Perkins into 4th place. Just seems like Aaron Cyfleet's O-plated kart is starting to fade. Unfortunately, the number 44 of Anthony Cox pulls over to one side. Good driving there from Anthony. Making sure it doesn't get in the way of these leaders. The number 41 of Russell Hopes is just ahead of the leaders, or this group within the top 5, I should say. Thank you there from Cyfleet for the driving there from Russell Hopes. 11 karts remaining. No, I'm going to correct myself there. I was about to say 11 karts remaining on the lead lap. It's 10 because our leader, we haven't seen much of in this race. And look at the pace that Perkins has down. That is definitely the strong area for Robert Perkins at the moment. For the 2nd lap in a row, just pulls up alongside. Oh, but now it's going to be a switchback. Dan Berry's now going to return the favour, go back past Robert Perkins for 3rd place. But Lee Blaine has actually now lapped up to 10th place. He's got past Thomas Smith as well. Penultimate lap of the race. In fact, no, the last lap of the race for the 210 Nationals. Lee Plain looking to drive home to another victory here at Shenington. Another strong result in the Shenington SuperPrix. Aaron Cyfleet has faded away, unfortunately, from this tussle for 3rd place. Dan Berry still holding on to it at the moment, ahead of Robert Perkins. There's your leader. Lee Plain lost the lead off the start, but responded brilliantly. He's going to come around the final corner to win dominantly here at Shenington. Takes the 210 national class for the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix. Lionel Cyfleet across the line there. In fact, there he is in 2nd place. Dan Berry is going to hold on to 3rd place ahead of Robert Perkins in 4th. 5th place for Aaron Cyfleet, completing the top 5. Stuart Henry should be the next driver over the line in 6th place in the number 8. There is the number 8. Good result there for Stuart Henry. 7th is going to be one of either Neil Hancock or Tom Berry. They've been very close throughout the race. A couple of the other, and then in fact there is Hancock over the line in 7th. Berry in 8th. Last driver on the lead lap is going to be Thomas Stone in 9th, and then Ray Sloan, 1 lap off the overall lead, completes the top 10. Bit of a wave there from Thomas Stone. Good results, 9th place and on the lead lap after 8 and a bit minutes. Good race there from the 210 Nationals, but it's Libre who takes the E Plate for 2022. Very good stuff indeed. We're going to take another short break. Out on circuit next is race number 36. It's a joint final with TKM Clubman and Rotax Libre taking to the circuit.
Shenington Kart Racing Club would like to thank the following for their support of the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix: Stu Stretton Photography, Spell Fame Karting, Rotax Jag Engineering, Dunlop, Birrell Art, Jack Dex Racing, LeConte Racing Tyres, Jade Racing Team, TCR UK, IAME The Heart of Kart, Formula TKM and Zipkart. Thank you for watching live coverage of the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix here on Alpha Live.
Welcome back to live commentary here at Shenington from Double Dash Motorsport Media. We're getting ready for the TKM Clubman and Rotax Libre finals, both running out on circuit at the same time. Let's have a look at the grid for this one, starting, I believe, with the TKM Clubman's. And it should be Sam Baker on pole position. There it is. Craig Summers alongside on the front row. Guy Tolley and Ben Spencer on row 2. Scott Hinton and David Diamond on row 3. Matt O'Farrell and Ben Packman will be starting this race from the 4th row of the grid. Jack Crisp and Callum Lambley complete the top 10. Harple Baines and Scott Hambley are there on the 6th row of the grid. And then Sam Cope and Tom Bird complete the 14 runners in TKM Clubman. 4 runners in Rotax Libre. Paul Belton is the first of them. Finlay Leonard alongside on that front row for Rotax Libre. And Amy Catchpole alongside Richard Mallinson on the second row for Rotax Libre. And both of these categories running as budget categories for both TKM and Rotax Machinery. And we've seen some drama in these races. I remember a final for TKM Clubman a few years ago. I want to say it was 2018. And it was the race when nobody wanted to win. It was almost a little bit like Monaco Grand Prix a few years ago. And we were sat on the start line waiting for a winner, and nobody seemed to come across the line to win the race. There were quite a few retirements. Let's see what's going to happen here in this one. 10 minutes on the clock. Away we go then for the final in TKM Clubman. Good start for both Baker and Summers. Heading into the first couple of corners. We'll keep ticking over with the Libres as well, the Rotax Libres. Belton ahead of Leonard, Catchpole and Mallinson. Number 35 Guy Tolley has had a good start as well. He's got up to second place in the early stages within TKM Clubman. Here are all of your TKM Clubmans. 30 of David Diamond there. I think he's lost a couple of positions off the start. Here are the Rotax Libres. Looks like Richard Mallinson has got ahead of Amy Catchpole early on in this one. He's up to third place. Here come the TKM Clubmans across the line for the first time in racing trim. It does look like it's Sam Baker leading from Guy Tolley. What's the problem there with one of the cars? Craig Summers down the inside, going for a move on Guy Tolley. Side by side as they go towards the Bruno chicane, but Summers has got it done on the run out of Stratford. Takes that position. Experienced driver is Craig Summers. He's raced in TKM for a good number of years. In fact, quite a few of these drivers have raced in this category for a good number of years. I had the pleasure of racing against Craig around 6 or 7 years ago in the Club 100. That's where he started. When Club 100 ran similar TKM power units. He's very much made a bit of a position for himself here in this category. There's the number 69 of Jack Crisp. And so, forced out wide there. The number 17 of Ben Packman won't have liked that at all in that battle with the 52 of Scott Hinton.
Race continuing though. Steady pace at the moment from the TKM Clubman drivers as the number 88 of Harple Baines. So just to be aware, we have got two 88s in this race. One in TKM Clubman, one in Rotax Libre. Slightly crossed up there was the number 35 of Guy Tully. A good pace being run at the front of the field at the moment between the two leaders in TKM Clubman, both Baker and Summers in the 45 6s. Summers slightly quicker than Baker. There is the number 14 of Richard Mallison. Third at the moment in Rotax Libre. And so far this weekend has very much been controlled by Paul Belton. Gap in the front for Belton in his number 26 is just under a second over Finley Leonard. Here's Craig Summers, second place at the moment for the O Plate in TKM Extreme. Guy Tolley, Ben Spencer, Jack Crisp just behind it. It's a good run this from Ben Spencer so far. Started fourth on the grid. It's held in that position. There's Amy Catchpole, number 88 in Rotax Libre. We spoke to her during the paddock walk. She gave a very good description of what Rotax Libre is about and the fields that are involved. Field involved, very much looking for new entrants as well. So if you like your Rotax racing, but you haven't quite got the budget of some other series, I do recommend that you have a look at the Rotax Libre as a way to go out there and race. And we will be showing the paddock show live. Well, it's recorded, but live on the stream after the races. Apologies, just having it corrected in my ear. The paddock show will be published live on the Alpha Live YouTube channel after the racing's completed. Got one more race, I believe, after this one. Still as we were at the front of the field there in Rotax Libre. Paul Belton leading ahead of Finley Leonard, and still as you were in the TKM Clubman category as well, with Sam Baker in the blue number 38 leading out front. There has actually been, I think, a bit of a change in the order, because we weren't meant to have this TKM Clubman and Rotax Libre final earlier on in the day. We swapped over with the TKM Extremes. 4 minutes of the race to go then. There's been a change for position in TKM Clubman. Callum Hambley has got past Harple Baines for 11th place. Number 21, Ben Spencer, just starting to put a bit more pressure on Guy Tolley there in the number 35. Craig Summers just going into the distance a bit for Guy Tolley at this stage of the race. 45.76 last time around for Summers, 45.91 for Tolley, 45.83. In fact, identical lap times for both Ben Spencer there in the number 21 and Jack Crisp just behind in the number 69. Sam Baker looking in control. He'll not be counting his chickens yet, though. He has been in this position before and not got to the finish of a TKM Clubman final here at the Shenington SuperPrix. And it still continues to be very warm. Humidity started to go up a little bit as well. New fastest lap of the race for any kart out there at all has actually been Richard Mallison. It's closed in. There's a nice battle going on in Rotax Libre now for 1, 2, 3. Belton, Leonard and Mallinson. They're just coming out of the Stratford hairpin now. We're able to get a sight on them. The number 21 of Ben Spencer has got past number 35 of Guy Tolley there. And oh, here comes Jack Crisp, was looking down the inside for a move. Didn't quite make it work. Really has closed up in Rotax Libre. Just coming over start finish there into Cafe corner now. Can see them, yeah, the 26, the 49 and the 14 properly on for a scrap here. Still carrying on with a scrap in their class. Ben Spencer, Guy Tolley and Jack Crisp. Matt O'Farrell has also gained a position out there. He's got past David Diamond for, what would that be, 8th place in TKM Clubman. Keeping an eye on this Rotax Libre battle. Still Belton leading it. Going down towards Hangar now. And I think the race time is actually being run off their position on track, which is why you can see them at the top of the standings. Belton actually responding. 45 is, out of the race there is Ben Packman. So Ben Packman, who was running in the top 10 in TKM Clubman, goes no further, retires on lap number 11. Belton, similar to what we've seen with other drivers here today, felt that pressure. He's decided to pick the pace up. 45.71 last time around for Paul Belton in the number 26. He's going to catch an eye on them out of the window. About to come through here. They come through the first couple of corners. I say the number 49 is closing in. Finlay Leonard going down towards the Stratford hairpin now. Still, Guy Tolley cannot find a way back past Ben Spencer to take 3rd place. Sam Baker and Craig Summers still running 1 and 2 in TKM Clubman. Rotax Libre drivers heading down to the last couple of corners now. Still no change as contact you can see out the window here. We'll just catch the Rotax Libre carts coming over the line. There was contact between Tolley and Spencer right in front of us here at Cafe Corner. So they may have lost out actually to Jack Crisp. I think, has Jack Crisp got through? I think he may well have done. If we just look back there, you'll see the Rotax Libre drivers. There they are. Still Belton ahead of Leonard. Allison's still there too. Last lap board has not gone out yet as far as I'm aware. So still some time on the clock for things to change. Last lap board has now gone out. The leaders in Rotax Libre just go past us there. Belton, Leonard, Mallinson. Still that 1, 2, 3. Sam Baker will be loving this in TKM Extreme. 2.5 seconds to the good ahead of Craig Summers. Jack Crisp did get past these two drivers, but it's still squabbling there between Guy Tolley and Ben Spencer. Leaders in Rotax Libre coming towards the finish line there. Is Paul Belton going to hold on to this victory in the number 26? Yes, he is. Paul Belton wins in Rotax Libre. 2nd place for Finlay Leonard and Richard Mallinson in 3rd place. Amy Catchpole will come over the line in 4th place in Rotax Libre. And it'll be a win for Sam Baker in a few moments' time. There is Amy Catchpole over the line. Sam Baker is going to win once again in TKM Clubman and takes victory in the Shenington SuperPrix. Craig Summers finishes a strong 2nd there. 3rd is going to be Jack Crisp, who kept himself out of trouble. And on the line, Ben Spencer ahead of Guy Tolley and Scott Hinton. Matt O'Farrell, David Diamond, Tom Bird and Callum Hambley across the line there is the top novice and also inside the top 10. Well, very good stuff indeed from all the drivers out there in the TKM Clubman and Rotax Libre categories. I hope they've enjoyed their day. And I think with that, we have one more race to go here, but it is going to be a good one. Race 37, the X30 Senior Final, is the next and final race up here on your Alpha Live stream. We'll be back in a short moment's time.
Shenington Kart Racing Club would like to thank the following for their support of the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix: Stu Stretton Photography, Spell Fame Karting, Rotax Jag Engineering, Dunlop, Birrell Art, Jack Dex Racing, LeConte Racing Tyres, Jade Racing Team, TCR UK, IAME The Heart of Kart, Formula TKM and Zip Kart. Thank you for watching live coverage of the 2022 Shenington.
Final race of the day, very quick grid. Sam Heading and Marcus Littlewood on the front row. Harvey Ryby and Alistair Cresswell on row 2. Nat Thomas and Alfie Baxter-Davies on row 3. Thomas Faulkner and Dominic Kilmister on row 4. Sam Lewis and Rhys Baines complete the top 10. Kyan Gohill and Charlie Thompson on row 6. Luke Taylor and Thomas Byrne on row 7. Nora Scaffour and Al Patterson on row 8. And reading through the rest of the grid there, because we are ready for a start here in X30 Senior. Are we? No. We'll go for the grid again, James, because they're going to roll around for another formation lap there. So Sam Heading and Marcus Littlewood is your front row. Harvey Ryby and Alistair Cresswell, row 2. Nat Thomas and Alfie Baxter-Davies, row 3. Thomas Faulkner and Dominic Kilmister on row 4. Sam Lewis and Rhys Baines on row 5. Kyan Gohill and Charlie Thompson row 6. Luke Taylor and Thomas Byrne row 7. Nora Scaffour and Al Patterson row 8. James Pashley and William Embling on row 9. Toby Spawn and Sam Stansbury on row number 10. I'm going to stop it there. This is a race sponsored by IAME The Heart of Kart and Jade Racing Team. Winner takes the E Plate for 2022. Top 3 get a set of Comet tyres each. Away we go then for the final race of the day, the final race of the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix. 10 minutes on the clock. The X30 Senior Final is running. Good start for Sam Heading in the number 7. There's a lot of karts off on the exit of Cafe. The number 22, the number 29, the 74 and the 35 are all involved. So that's 4 karts already well and truly out of the running for anything good to write home about here today at Shenington. Crazy start to the X30 Senior Final. This is our biggest field of the day. 29 karts out there on circuit. No, I'll correct myself. KZ had one more. It's still a very big field out there. Let's count them through at the end of lap number 1 then. Is Sam Heading still at the front of this one? Yes, he is. Ryby second, Littlewood in third. Faulkner and Cresswell complete the top 5. Alistair Cresswell has already had a very good day here today. Can he make it an even better one here? Down the inside there goes Thomas Faulkner. That was for third place on Marcus Littlewood. Rest of the field filing their way through. Big pace straight away there. I'll tell you what's impressing me, the half-second lead that Sam Heading has already got at the start of this race. Has had both heat wins so far this weekend. And I do wonder if he's seen some of the races from earlier today, where drivers in a similar position to himself have got caught up in incidents and battles later on in the race because they've not been able to get a gap in the early stages. You've got to think for Sam Heading that that's what he's going to try and do, try and break away, break the spirit of the rest of the field and fight for it later. It was not a particularly good lap there for Harvey Ryby. He's slipped down to 5th place. Alfie Baxter-Davies is currently the fastest driver out on circuit. So watch out for Alfie, the number 31. He's been racing here for many a few years. There down the inside goes Ryby, gets past the 31 of Baxter-Davies, so they will have changed positions around at some point on that lap. Alistair Cresswell is up to 3rd place now, ahead of Thomas Faulkner. 7.5 minutes to go. Just to confirm, the karts that had problems in the early stages of that race, or this race, Sam Lewis, Rhys Masters, Al Patterson, Ben Bovey has had issues also. It's simply a case of So many karts weren't going to go into one. Down the inside there goes Alfie Baxter-Davies. Switches back with Harvey Ryby there. Ryby fights back though. He's not content on sitting behind Alfie Baxter-Davies. Alfie Baxter-Davies has fended it off. It's got through. That is now 5th place for the driver in kart number 31. So Sam Heading leads, but at the moment is not able to break away. And that is good news for the rest of the field, that they can keep Heading in touch and try and pull the number 7 back across the course of the next 6.5 minutes, more in fact, because there'll be the +1 lap afterwards. There's the number 77. Right, down the inside there goes James Pashley, going for a move on, I think that was the number 70 of Nat Thomas. Yes, it was. Dominic Kilmister is in there also. Rhys Baines takes the opportunity to gain a position as well in the number 13s, and not a good couple of corners there for Nat Thomas, being bullied out of position and down into 10th place. So rough old game out there in X30 Senior. It's another one of our categories where not a single inch is given out there. You've got to be a tough fighter out there to survive in this category. Less than 6 minutes on the clock. Marcus Littlewood applying the pressure here at the front of the order as they stream over start-finish. There's Dominic Kilmister in the 77, back at the front of the order. Look at this. Marcus Littlewood and Alistair Cresswell and Thomas Faulkner are all putting Sam Heading under a supreme amount of pressure here. They've not cracked Sam Heading so far this weekend. This is a final, and we've already seen big dramatic things happen in some of these finals. Very impressed with how Marcus Littlewood has grown. We've been watching Marcus race for quite a few years now. And I don't think he's driven any better at any stage of his karting career on the UK scene. And what a win this would be if he could take victory at the Shenington SuperPrix. Good drive there from Sam Heading though, through Pittsbend and down Stratford. Pace, my goodness, 41.86 for both Heading and Littlewood at the moment. Fastest driver out there, just looking down, I think that's actually James Pashley. James Pashley of 41.83 in the number 52, so watch out for Pashley, could still be a factor in the top 5. Plenty of time left on the clock. Through the drivers go, still Heading at the front of the order. Down through Stratford Hairpin. Hello to DJ again, there he is, down on the left hand side with his parasol and his cool box. I suspect it's not very cool anymore. It's been down there that long. Marcus Littlewood quite happy at the moment just to sit in second place. I think this is the right play, and just as I say that, he dives down the inside, takes the lead of the race ahead of Sam Heading. Well, I was about to say I think he was okay to just sit there and drop off Thomas Faulkner off the back of this field, and he's proved me completely wrong. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you for that. It's a great move though, really good move down into Wilkins. Defend now into the Stratford hairpin. Oh, but being forced wide there by Sam Heading, and Sam Heading's through the 3, maybe 4 wide. Almost there, and Heading still on the inside. The number 55 of Thomas Faulkner is now up to second place. As out of the race is the number 29 of Al Patterson there. Well, Marcus Littlewood would say he was forced out wide a little bit roughly. He's back up to third place now, has got back past number 33 of Alistair Cresswell. Sam Heading still at the front of this order. And, giving the thanks to our sponsors here today. And one last thanks as well to Stu Stretton Photography. A3 Canvas print to all of the class winners here today. Brian Ryman for the fastest lap trophies. And given that this is a senior category as well, big thanks to Shenington Kart Racing Club sponsoring the Senior Driver of the Day trophy. This this one's not over. Just under 2.5 minutes on the clock to go in the X30 Senior Final, sponsored by IAME, the Heart of Kart, and Jade Racing Team. Sam Heading at the front of it, but has got work to do to hold off the likes of Thomas Faulkner and Marcus Littlewood. Alistair Cresswell still in there. Harvey Ryby's come back into this in the 71. In 5th place there in that train, James Pashley. We've mentioned how quick Pashley was and that a top 5 was not out of the question for the driver in the number 52. It definitely isn't out of the question now. 1.5 seconds covers the top 6 at the moment. And still quite a few laps to go as well. Was Littlewood a little bit wide there through Wilkins, maybe under attack. In fact, there's been a change there. Faulkner has got past Littlewood, so Thomas Faulkner up to 2nd place now. Got to get reorganised. Those 2 Birrell drivers. Defending there is Thomas Faulkner. That'll be news that's glorious to the ears of Sam Heading, because it just allows a bit of a gap. He's already pulled out 1/10 of a second through the first section. I think it's going to be even bigger. Yes, it's pulled out 1/2 second. This is very well timed from Sam Heading, whilst the drivers behind squabble and fight. And look at that round the outside. James Pashley going for the big move round the outside. Has he made it work? Yes, he has. He's got past Harvey Ryby there with an audacious manoeuvre. Saw the gap. I mean, it's a bold play, risky play, because we've seen quite a few drivers be squeezed onto the grass there on the exit of Wilkins, but fair play to both drivers. They did that very well. There's a yellow flag out as they head down towards the hairpin. They're not quite sure what that is about. The number 31 of Alfie Baxter-Davies is getting involved now at the back of this train, and number 31. But all the while, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that the likes of Faulkner and Littlewood have started fighting this so hard so early, because Sam Heading has just driven off the front of this group, and it's all his to lose now. There's going to be 2 more laps, side by side once again between Faulkner and Littlewood, and there was contact. There was contact there, bit of tyre smoke as well. 2 seconds is now the lead for Sam Heading, and it's still all going on behind. James Pashley trying to find a way through. The number 52 still in there. The 33 of Alistair Cresswell we mustn't forget about. There is a transponder issue on the number 33, so don't worry, he's not fallen out of position. Is still there in 4th place. Well, Sam Heading, if he looks over his shoulder, won't quite believe his luck there, as through goes the number 33 of Cresswell. There's a little bit of contact involved there. The number 55 of Thomas Faulkner trying to fight back here. We are on the last lap of the last race of the day. Sam Heading, well, he's heading towards a race victory. His 3rd of the race weekend, but the most important here in the final. Alfie Baxter-Davies trying to fight there with James Pashley, trying to hold in the top 5 there, side by side between Pashley and Faulkner. Great racing as ever in X30 Senior. But here comes Sam Heading round the final corner to take victory in X30 Senior, and slows down, and that is probably the most showboat finish we've seen of the day. Sam Heading takes victory in the Shenington SuperPrix in X30 Senior. Across the line, it's going to be 2nd place for the number 11 of Marcus Littlewood, 3rd for the number 33 of Alistair Cresswell, 4th for Thomas Faulkner, 5th for James Pashley, 6th Alfie Baxter-Davies, 7th for Harvey Ryby, 8th for Dominic Kilmister, 9th for, I've missed one out there, that's Rhys Baines, who was in there behind Ryby. So it was Baines in 8th, Kilmister 9th, Nat Thomas in 10th, Norris Gaffour in 11th, Thomas Byrne 12th, Can Gohill in 13th, Sam Stansbury in 14th, Charlie Gromit in 15th, Archie Forber in 16th, Chris Banderi in 17th, Charlie Thompson in 18th, Luke Taylor and Toby Spawn completing the top 20. And with that, that completes racing here today at Shenington for the 2022 Shenington Super Grand Prix weekend. And just hearing in my ear that if you keep watching here on the stream, And as the stream ends, if you keep your window tab open here on YouTube, it'll automatically go through to the paddock show that we filmed earlier. Big thanks to the whole team here at Shenington Kart Racing Club for all their efforts today. Another absolutely fantastic Shenington SuperPrix. Always great to come up here and be part of this event. Thanks to Graham and the whole team. Thanks to all of our marshals. Thanks to all of our sponsors, as mentioned. Thanks to all of you at home. Big thanks to our crew here today for the Alpha Live stream. Anthony Jordan, Gregory Malone, Jonathan Morris, Laura Glover, Ollie Goodsir and Ryan Wakeman. James Fitchu was our producer and director here today. And thanks to all of them. If you've enjoyed the stream and you've not done so before, do click that subscribe button, the like button and the notification bell as well. Plenty more content coming up here across the course of the month. And if you've enjoyed the commentary as well, at @MM across all your social media networks. My name's been Andrew Mather. Thank you very much for joining us here today at Shenington. It's been a fantastic 2022 Shenington SuperPrix. Enjoy the rest of your heatwave weekend. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and take care. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Shenington Kart Racing Club would like to thank the following for their support of the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix: Stu Stretton Photography, Spell Fame Karting, Rotax Jag Engineering, Dunlop, Birrell Art, Jack Dex Racing, LeConte Racing Tyres, Jade Racing Team, TCR UK, IAME The Heart of Kart, Formula TKM and Zipkart. Thank you for watching live coverage of the 2022 Shenington SuperPrix here on Alpha Live.